Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's official coverage of Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. It is round 8 and we're up for a huge 2-hour race here at Spa. All this proudly brought to you by Simblax, True to Life Racing Designs, CrossCut Woodworks, Carpentary and Joinery, Crossy 43, and of course Hendo. And as always, broadcast to you live by Matchfit Entertainment. Matchfit Entertainment on board. That means myself, Davo, and my wingman, as always, J-Man by my side. How are you doing this evening?
G'day, Davo. Good evening, viewers. Welcome, everybody. I'm great, mate. And yourself? I know you've been battling the last week, mate. So it's really great to hear you sounding a little bit better than the last time I sat in the seat beside you, mate. So you do sound better. Still a fair way to go, mate. So we'll do our level best and try and apply both wings to the wingman thing there tonight for you, Davo. But look, as you mentioned, round 8 here, Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. So tonight, pretty cool format. Obviously, got a big one ahead of us. Couple of hours on the trot here tonight, but one of the interesting stats around tonight is the fact that it is 6 times scale. So we're effectively going to see a 12-hour inside a couple of hours here, viewers. So expect them to start at 10 a.m. once they do commence racing and finish at 10 p.m. So falling into the darkness and maybe a mixed bag on the weather front. Looks really good for the first phase of qualifying here tonight. Obviously, we are going to see the Pro-Ams and the Ams go out. So once again, this is always a great session to watch as we see the likes of Gunther Rowe and I think previously as well, Mitchie Haas will really go at it to really punch some times in there. Tony Spence is another one that's really been able to fire that Capsize Motorsport McLaren up in there. And McLaren's looking really good here tonight
They
too,
are.
Davo.
They are.
So
looking very quick. Just watching pre-race practice, J-Man. Some healthy top speeds from the McLaren. Even
276k an hour, mate.
Yeah, pipping the Mustang. I think even the Bentley. So that's some healthy speed. And Spa, the place, you do need this sort of speed from your car to make the big gains. As the boys roll out for qualifying, we will get some vision to you. Let's get
63 car Mark Turbot would be the first car out on track. Got a nice healthy breath of fresh air in front, obviously being the first car, and certainly behind back to I believe the next car that did peel out behind him was Danny Kim in the 11 car. So that is the Ferrari, the Kessel Racing Ferrari of Danny Kim would be the next one in the line. So yeah, great to see these cars out at this beautiful racetrack. 19 turns here. Some what is it, mate? Is it seven odd kilometers or something like that? I think.
Yeah, no, she's a sizable circuit, old Spa. Plenty going on throughout those 7 odd Ks too, J-Man. It's got a little bit of everything, hasn't it? Like we just mentioned, obviously, top speeds. It's got some really good long straight runs. But yeah, plenty of twisty stuff to keep the boys thinking. Some switchback stuff. And the elevation changes are notable. And obviously, as always, the famous Eau Rouge early sector of the lap. So.
And it's so critical too. So you mentioned Eau Rouge. So that basically is 2, 3, and then they come out of 4, which is Radalon. And Radalon leads you onto the Kemmel Straight. And the Kemmel Straight's so important to head down to turn 5 Lacombe's for that chicane at the end of the straight. We know how critical that run is. We know that guys will run wide at Eau Rouge, and you certainly don't want to do it in your quality lap because you will get no classification of time if you get a run wide there. However, in the race, you're going to get away with X amount. But what it'll do is when the guys and girls run out of track limit infringements here, you will see them really, really lift off. And that's especially inside these longer races where you're likely going to see somebody make really big gains on the Kemmel Straight heading down to turns 5 and 6 with somebody being compromised by their run. So also another one as well, coming out of Paul Frere, turn 15, and then they basically full throttle all the way out of 15, down through 16, 17, Blanchimont. You'll hear us talking about the Blanchimont curves there, and then they'll come into turn 18, 19, the final chicane, big under brakes down there. Another great spot to attack and get the drive off a 9 before the start-finish line.
Definitely, J-Man. And just looking at the leaderboards as the boys start to come across for their first indicative times, and a new name comes to the top of the list there, J-Man.
Yeah, so a couple of new names, mate. So obviously first one that we're looking at is on the top, and that is Mr. I believe it's Matthew Clark in the Falcon Tyre BMW. So he's doing a great job straight away on an 18.0. Anything low 18s or in the 17 bracket is very, very impressive around Spa. They talk about the top 1% may get into the 16s, but yeah, an 18.0 is very, very good. So very good looking early classification time there from Matthew Clark. The other name also to mention is Ben Collins in the Pit Viper, Aston Martin. I believe this is the first time that you and I have commentated Ben out on track. So welcome aboard to those two gentlemen, and I hope they go well tonight.
Definitely. Other than that, the usual suspects, J-Man.
Yep. Very much so. They are all out there, and like I mentioned, Mitchy Haas, Tony Spence, George Goddard, Ken Worcester. Good to see Ken back in that beautifully presented Mustang. He's out there. Gunther Rowe hasn't presented a time as of yet, so that could be the Rouge effect happening already in this qualifying.
Well, quite possibly, J-Man. Yeah, easy to get wrong. And really need to go full commitment in there to get an indicative time here at Spa. But so easy to get it wrong and get a tyre across the control line and void your lap, as we just see him put that Gorilla Racing Mustang to...
provisionally on the front row with an 18.3. Now, these are two times that will serve them very, very well. I mean, a 17.8 from...
Clark is quick.
Clark sort of probably begs the question of whether maybe first time up, whether he's maybe in the wrong or right class. But, hey, that's not for you or I to decide. However, 17.8 is a very, very handy time.
But, yeah, as do new drivers here at Rainlight, they get slotted straight into the Pro-Am category, and it will either move up or down from that class as the data comes in over a couple of weeks. So Clark already showing his prowess at the hands of that BMW. So nice work from Matthew, is it? Matthew Clark.
Matthew Clark,
yeah. So nice work. And
some good times coming. Turbot's on a big number. Also, Mitchy Haas on a good number already as well. And then, you know, lots of improvement, obviously, in these second and third laps for these drivers. They will have around about another, what are we looking at? 6.5, 7, something like minutes odd to go, breaking the session into 2. We will see the pros come out after this. So just borderline on half the field out at the moment. And then from, I guess, P12 down through 24, we will see. Well, actually, Uncle Joe not out there at the moment. So it would be bang on half the field. Probably would be out if Joe had gone and banked the time. So good spread through the field. So
definitely.
Very, very good to see. Now, look, Matthew Clark pressing on with this lap also, just coming down through Blanchimont at the moment. Got a couple of tenths up his sleeve. Gunther Rowe also, now he's coming down there as well to the final chicanes, 18-19, and he's carrying a good 5 to 6 tenths. Mitchy Haas goes to the top on a 17.715.
Very nice, but
Over
Clark's up on his delta, J-Man, and
yeah, 17.697 just pips the Mitchy Haas
there
time.
you go.
And Gunther Rowe, he, I think, might have made the slightest improvement, so might have thrown a lot away in that final chicane. However, still enough at the moment, provisionally P3. Just warming of the brakes as Mitchy Haas exiting the pit lane. Clark gone back out also, mate. So, yeah, everybody enabled that can go has gone to have another run at this thing.
Yep. Absolutely, J-Man. Look, a long lap here at Spa, and so 15 minutes qualifying for this split qualifying is still not a long time, is it? Not a lot of laps to get under your belt, but once it hits that 15-minute mark, they will be on their final laps, and the pro drivers will have already started to roll out. So it'll just be interesting to watch where everybody lands.
Yeah, absolutely.
When that time comes around.
So just looking at, I just picked up on Spence. Now Spence is actually coming around 14-15, which is campus, about to head out of Freret now and head down towards Blanchimont. And this is where the speed builds, you know, and they've really got to just watch that they don't step too wide of the mark as they put the car on the very right-hand side of the track here. 2 wheels out in the AstroTurf, the safety grass we used to call it, Davo. It's not always that safe.
It's definitely not that safe. It's a stunning looking car, that SSR car.
And
the 420.
He's got some good deltas going here.
He has got some good deltas going there, J-Man. That would easily sneak him in above
P3.
Yep. Nice.
Above Rowe, yeah.
Nice. So Rowe already in the pits.
Yeah, he's given it away. 6 sets of tyres tonight for this qualifying session and the race. I would think that would be ample for what we will see. Definitely be, I would think, a one-stop affair for fuel and tyres, probably a set in the pracky, and then maybe a couple of sets for the session. You know, you'd expect that Gunther's gone and bolted on another set. What's he got? 17.25. It's going to be super tight to see whether he actually gets across the line. Yes, he will. Yeah, he will. Yeah, he'll be fine. Where's the 216 Spence? Oof, I'll tell you what, if Tony Spence can bang a 216, I'll be well impressed, Mr.
Yeah, well, 216.
The McLarens are looking good.
I don't even think in pre-race, did we?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think I did see one earlier today. I believe I saw a 16.8 and a 16.9.
So, yeah, look, plenty to play for here.
So I believe that's probably going to be it. So the 23 car of Ben Goebel comes in the lane. I saw him going across the line. So basically everything that you see out there on track is finishing the laps. I think Rowe's
still on track, J-Man.
Yeah, he's on a lap.
He did sneak across the line like you called, just in time, with about 15 or 20 seconds left on the timer. As we will see the Pro-Ams, the fast guys starting to roll out of the pit lane now.
Pros working their way out as we speak, mate. So just trying to pick up on who was first of the pros to come out. And I've got an idea. That it could have been the 3 car. Hang on a sec. Yeah, it could have definitely been the 3 car. Could be maybe the first car out.
So we've got Haas and Spence. Oh, well, Haas has just thrown his lap, but Spence looking very healthy on the deltas, J-Man, and might even push for Clark's lap here. Look at this. He's done it. First top of the tree there provisionally.
Yeah, 17.672 plays a 17.697. Very, very well played to stay out there that long and
Very
get
nice.
that one done.
Very nice. As like we mentioned, we see the big guns rolling out for their warm-up lap. Cameras on Firth, warming the tyres.
Yeah, Firthy's filthy burgers out there.
In one of the McLarens, and we did talk about how quick the McLarens are going to be here tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how Firth goes. Firth actually sitting in a really nice sweet spot in the championship at the moment too, J-Man in fourth, and with not a lot of pressure from behind. So he's really kept his nose clean this championship this season so far. And
Yeah, really backed out of the last part of that lap.
It did.
Really got plenty of tyre temp in and then really backed off looking for that space because I believe he did have, I think it may have been Macrolos just up the road. Now, he wouldn't be a bad carrot to have. He's certainly, when he's on point, he's very, very quick. So try and get a read on that. Yeah, we definitely have got the 3 car, the Red Bull Honda of Maverick that is returning. Obviously, we've missed Mr. Antoon for a couple of weeks.
There, yeah.
Did give the opportunity as well for Mr. Webley to grab a hold of the lead of this championship. I only actually gained it after the second round that Mav was away, but nonetheless, he has got the lead at the moment.
He has. As Mav's been away, I think just picking up some sneaky little, parts for the Honda to make it go quicker. But yeah, definitely has put Webley up in the top spot at the moment. Actually, with a reasonably healthy lead too, J-Man, by about 30 points, and we'll talk about points later. But yeah, so Mav will have his work cut out for him with 2 rounds to go after tonight. So not a lot left in this series. It's round 8 out of 10 rounds. We still have Bathurst and Imola to go in the series. So
2 very, very cool tracks to finish up with as well.
Very good, both of them. So
we're going to get an idea on, I guess the first cars through will be the 3 car of Maverick, followed by Nathan Henderson, followed by Brandon Webley. So some big hitters about to come across the line. So we'll see what Mav has got on his first flyer. What will it be? It is a 17.2, takes him to the top. Quickly followed by Hendo on a 17.4, and then quickly eclipse both of them with Brandon Webley with a 17.0. So perilously close to a 16. Davo. So, and the timer still firing pretty quickly. We do see Steve Crossland into 8th provisionally as well. So Dayton into 10th. Just saw the leaderboard move again. So that was Nick Firth going up into 7th. That tree is absolutely going crazy at the moment.
It's lighting up. Macrolos not making a gain, so obviously not a valid lap, J-Man.
Well, no, it was because he is P12.
Oh, he is too. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was in there, but probably not as finest. And then Dixon in there also, 13. Forodo still to fire a good one yet, and Jordan Moss 15th, 16th. Now I just saw it shift again. Who was that?
Dawson in 11th as well, so probably not his finest lap either. So some of these guys, these big guns here, with a little bit more work to do.
I actually think we may have just lost somebody there. Just dropped back to 23 drivers. We were sitting at 24, so hopefully if that's a techie issue, somebody can sort that out and jump back in, because tonight will be a fantastic race. As I mentioned, 6 times the scale on the time frame. Is going to see a pretty entertaining 12-hour simulation. Both Webley and Maverick well up. Maverick got around half a second. Webley got about 0.3 of a second. Both of them all heading down through Blanchimont at the moment. So that's Webley, Maverick, Henderson, all in reverse order. However, Maverick leading the way over Hendo. So you'll see those times change. Maverick likely to go to the top on what would be somewhere around about a 16.8 on the current predictive, maybe 16.7 even. So this will be a very, very good time coming inboard 6 tenths, dropping back to 5.5 tenths. We're going to see a 16 here, 16.765. What has Hendo got in response? Hendo goes
Webley.
73. Webley with a 16.8. Hendo quickly back to pits. Probably looking for another set of tyres. In the interim, Crossland 7th, Firth 8th, Dayton still 10th, Dawson 12th, Macrolos 13th. Who's got some big numbers? I tell you who has got some big numbers is Jordan Moss. Elevates him to P11 on an 18.2.
Oh, and Dawson, J-Man, looking very healthy on the Delta. We saw that in that Bentley in pre-race practice, really hitting hard, and yeah, he's loving Spa here. The 54 Bentley of Pete Dawson.
He got that apex at 18 perfectly, and 19 is going to carry this 1.2 second buff that he's got. It's going to take him a long way up. Takes him to P3 on a 17.3.
Yeah, nice.
Very, very good time from the Bentley. Good to see.
Nice work from Peter. Also, Crossy slowly making his way up that totem. J-Man, we did hear a whisper that the mechanics have been hard at work trying to just tune some of the little niggly issues out of that Simblacks Honda. And look, it may not look overly quick, but I'm sure it's a lot easier car to drive than it has been so far throughout the series. So I'm hopefully Crossy's feeling a little bit more comfortable in that.
Now Webley's pressed on here. He's hovering around about a tenth of a second. Okay, drop back to half a tenth. Coming down through Blanchimont. If he can really nail the brakes down here to turn 18, 19, he may have enough to challenge Mav. Mav currently not on a lap at the moment. I think Webley pressed on. Mav opted for maybe another set of tyres by the look of it. As we see Webley just negate that. Oh, it is looking good. It is looking perilously close. Not going to be quite good enough.
Oh, he bled a little bit of speed off there.
Yeah, not quite. Not quite. So back for another set of tyres. It was perilously close, but he must have been watching the microsectors to back out of it so quick. Hendo on the smallest of margins approved. Where is he? Okay, so he's just started a lap. Now
Geordie looking to dip into the 17s, J-Man, or is he?
Yeah, he will. Where does he go? Jordan Moss P9 on a 17.800. Look at that, a 17.8 gets you as good as P9. Such is the quality of this field. Look at those. Apart from those two aliens there on 16.7, 16.8, look at that 17.3, 17.6s, 17.7s, and then 17.8s all the way out to P11. You don't break into the 18-second bracket until you get to Nick Firth and P12. Look, I'd be happy to do an 18, to be honest.
Oh, look, you and me both.
Yeah, cheers.
But it must be noted that the likes of Spence, Clark, and Haas.
Still inside the 10.
Still inside the 10. looking pretty solid here with only about 4.5 minutes to go in the session. So, and we've seen this week in and week out, haven't we, where some of these Pro-Am guys really punching well above their weight in their part of qualifying and holding those top 10 positions. And really, it's putting them in good stead for the race overall. So,
yeah. And shout out Warren Baker, mate. Good to see you tuning in again. Always appreciate the comments. Warren. And we will have a great broadcast here tonight at Spa with this field and what we're seeing already with how competitive the times are. Can well imagine that the racing's going to be no different. There'll be some seriously intense battle packs going on. Looking at it, but a clear two guys that have got the pace in quali trim to maybe step on out, but there's going to be a big battle after them. If you look at P3 all the way down to P, what you could say P11, P12 at the moment. That is anybody's game to try and get on the podium tonight.
Definitely, J-Man. Will Dixon up on his Delta as well in the CrossCut Woodworks, Carpentry and Joinery. Aston Martin, one of the major sponsors there in the 997. Aston running up the hill to that final chicane, J-Man, with a little bit on his Delta. And Nick Firth also looking very healthy on his Delta at the moment.
Weather on the radar too, Davo. Bit of rain coming in what would be effectively 30 minutes. But remembering this is 6 times scaled. So
yep.
We have only got 3 minutes left in the session. However, I'll tell you what, if it was longer, you might see a little bit of cloud rolling in. So that is a factor to talk about here tonight with the 6 times scale. Weather on the horizon, that will play a big part of
look, absolutely, J-Man.
the strategy.
Look, tricky place to navigate at the best of times. Spa, very technical circuit, but yeah, just add a dash of water, mate, yep. And it's gonna get very, very epic, you know. So
yeah,
very interesting.
Hendo building here, just coming down.
Hendo building and Firth as well. Sorry, J-Man.
Yeah, 10-11 down through the double gauge here, heading into 12-13 also, and he is starting to build a delta that was consistently looking around 2.5 to 3 tenths, which will really put Pete Dawson under pressure for a switch of sides on the grid, which will be effectively the second row. So I don't think he's probably going to have enough to challenge Webley. However, never say never. He has got the 31 meatball car absolutely wound up right now. So the Aston Martin looking pretty good.
He has. Nick Firth actually just pipping Crossland to put himself in 8th, just in front of Crossy there. So 4th row of the grid. Crossy still out on, looking for some gains. Hendo just running into the final chicane now, J-Man, with a very healthy delta, mind you. This could get him in the top 3.
Yeah. Shane Fodado wants to mention as well, out there in P15, 218.1. And the Moss 777 car out there on a 17.8 with around about 2.5 tenths up his sleeve, about to cross the line. It's going to be just that slightly under a tenth. What does he do? Oh, it's not enough. He will get another go at it. Crosses the line with 42 seconds to go. I thought it might have been enough to just put Matty Dayton, but not quite.
Hendo did actually get Dawson.
He did get him.
Put himself in 3rd. Mav
and a 16.9.
Mav and Webley are still out on track, J-Man.
Yeah, look, Mav coming down through Blanchimont at the moment, carrying a good solid 2 tenths, 1.5 to 2 tenths, but it's been consistently around the 2 tenths since he started dropping down the hill. So if he can back this last brake maneuver up, down through the bus stop chicane here, 18-19, get this thing fired out the other side.
Yep, Crossy looking to take that 8th position back from Firth. They're looking very healthy on the delta and running up to the final chicane as well.
16.6, Davo. Big number.
Quali time has run down, so these boys will complete these laps here. Crossy to P5. Wow, big time from Crossy.
You talked about they'd engineered this car throughout the week. Obviously had a week off last week. Bit of a fun race or a bit of time off. Crossy was actually across the ditch. Caught up with him yourself, mate, and got to watch some GT3s at Queensland Raceway. So a little bit of R&R for Crossy's come back with a whole new turn of speed in that Honda. So great time there on a 17.5. Who have we got running? We still got Shane Fodado looking to improve slightly as he drops down the hill. Clearly got across the line in time. And then also Ashton Hughes in the Porsche. Now he's just dropping down, about to head out onto the straight towards Blanchimont, actually, just picking up on the map where he is now. So he's not too far away from finishing his lap. The number that Shane Fodado is on would be enough, I believe, to see him go.
Ooh, would get close to the top 10.
Yeah, he'd probably drop in just in behind.
Mossy, maybe?
Yeah, just in behind Moss, maybe threaten Dixon. Actually, no, yeah, so he'd probably pip Dixon just behind Moss. By the look of it, he can't carry this on.
As he runs up round these final couple of left-handers here. Full commitment, that final left-hander before they run up to the final chicane.
Big under brakes, makes the apex for 18, tips it left into 19, beautifully round that big Vallelunga curve. Doesn't get too much of it.
It's a healthy delta at the moment, J-Man. Sixth position.
Oh, he does. Beautiful lap from Shane Fodderday to finish the session off, and great to see you tuning in also, Alan McKay and Louis van der Ven. I'm sure it was a pleasure to meet the man, the myth, the legend, and Davo at QR, mate. Good to have you tuning in too.
Thanks, guys. It was a great weekend out there at QR. Hooked up with a few of the boys, so a very memorable weekend. It was.
Mate, big shout out to Maverick on a 16.6 to take pole here at Spa for this 2 hour, but also Tony Spence on a 17.6, Matthew Clark, Mitchie Haas, those 17.6s and 17.7s saw them well and truly cement themselves 7, 8, 9, so to be inside the 10. And then also that late lap from Steve Crossan, I thought was impressive on a 17.5, and Shane Fodderday to be that late in the piece. Very, very well done. Mr. Turbot there leading the way for the AM class on a 19.4 is a very, very good lap as well. So plenty going on, and we probably get a little opportunity, I would think, with the outlap coming to talk about points. Dave, I'm not sure whether you want to take a break or whether you want to get into it.
No. We'll just quickly thank our sponsors, obviously Simblacks, to kick things off. Simblacks, major sponsor for the Rainlight Racing 2024 GT3 Series 6 here. Giving away some great stuff. For starters, every race night they have helping sponsor the series by giving away a $50 gift card via a spin of the wheel. You don't have to actually be quick. You don't have to get your car to the pointy end of the field. We will spin a wheel at the end of this stream, and $50 will be given away randomly to one of the drivers that are here tonight. But bigger and better than that, at the end of the series, the big giveaway, a GT Neo wheel, Sim Magic wheel. Again, spin of the wheel prize, guys. You do not have to be Mav up the pointy end to win this. You can be anywhere throughout this field and be there on the night. If you completed 80% of the series, that means 8 of these races, we're going to spin the wheel and you will win a Sim Magic GT Neo wheel. It's a massive thing. Definitely worth getting involved with the boys here at Rainlight Racing when they're giving away such great prizes. J-Man, we will also thank the likes of CrossCut Woodworks, Carpentary and Joinery, True to Life Racing Designs, Crossy 43 and Hendo, and let's thank ourselves, Matchfit Entertainment, for bringing you the live broadcast, of course. And we will get to some points, J-Man. There's plenty going on in the points.
Yeah, 100%. As I mentioned earlier, with the absence of Mav, aka Phil Antoon, for a couple of rounds in rounds 6 and 7, it did see Brandon Webley manage to take the lead of this championship. 411 points, plays 361. So a little bit of work to do for Mav, but a man that's well and truly up to the task. He's proven time and time again, he's never out of this. And they are over another round, about 30 points back, has Costas Macrolos in the 222 car back in third. And then Firthy, as you mentioned, got a good little buffer, obviously a little bit of air gap up the road to Costas, but Firthy doing a great job with his promotion to be fourth outright and 259 points. And then Shane Fodderday from the OES stable in the 585 car just qualified in P6, so great job there. Got a a few spots up the road on the guy he's trying to challenge for that top 4, and Firthy, who qualified in 10th tonight. So Hendo, another one to look out for here tonight. 220 points, so 8 points the marker shy of Shane Fodado in 6th position. And then Gunther Rowe has had a pretty cracker season to be the first of the Pro-Ams there, and currently holding on 7th outright. Crossy with a tuned up Honda holding down 8th, and then Matty T absent tonight. It's a shame not to see Matty here, holding down 9th in the championship over Mitchie Haas, another Pro-Am driver that's been pretty epic throughout the season. Got some solid results and really proving himself to be a qualifying expert as well in these sessions. So Will Dixon, Pete Dawson, Tony Spence, Matty Dayton, Jordan Moss, Ashton Hughes, Danny Kim, Prin Tracy, who is absent, and Ken Worcester, and then Mark Turbot, first of the AM drivers to round out the 20 in this points table. So Turbot doing a bloody good job there to try and head out with a couple of rounds to go after tonight. He was the top qualifier tonight in the AM class, so he'd be looking to try and cement what would be a good final 2 rounds and head out the rest of the season and take that AM title. Because I mean, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're in the Alien class, the Pro-Ams or the AMs, everyone's after a title, mate. And it's looking pretty hot. So that basically takes you out to the 20. There's certainly plenty more to run after that. However, we will press on and have a look and see what we got going on out here. The guys are cycling up their tyres. It'll be a pretty big outlap, Davo, but you can see them starting effectively 10 o'clock or 10:22 a.m. It's actually quite dark, surprisingly. Bit of cloud cover. I don't see much sun peeking through the clouds. So
that's an ominous sign, I tell you.
It is a sign for maybe the weather god's going to play a hand in this race. And look, mate, I don't mind at all.
Well, easy for us to say, isn't it, J-Man? We're all comfy and rugged up in the comms box here, just viewing it through the windows.
Yep.
So cold beer at hand, but I'm sure those guys will be making the guys nervous as they roll out on their formation lap and try and get a bit of temperature into these cars. What do we got? Ambient at 19 and track at 22, so not...
And a green track too, mate, so it's going to be proper slippery. Coming down through Eau Rouge the first time. Expect a lot of track limits through there. Lap 1, effectively turn 2, 3, 4 as they come out of Radalon and head down the Kimmel Straight. Mav actually mentioned in the live chat, if you didn't see it, mate, he was expecting that Mustang to blow by him on lap 1. We'll be interested to see what it looks like, because there is a big speed difference.
There is a massive speed difference. And we know the Honda's not the quickest thing in a straight line. Very handy in the corners, but it really hasn't been a problem so far in the series with, you know, some really quick technical tracks. Here we are at the big Spa, you know, like, and I'm sure we'll see it again at Bathurst next week, where he'll be vulnerable, obviously, not only running up the hill, but down Conrod as well. So a couple of tracks where he'll definitely be working for his money. I just noticed that he is controlling the field a little bit too and not getting away too much, just to make sure everybody stays in touch on such a long lap here. And just keeping that field bunched, J-Man, so they get a good formation.
Yeah, I noticed he did sort of peel out and then back up. So obviously become limited by the game's widget or however they run the start procedure here. However, he'll have his systems in place, and as far as cycling the brakes and tyre temps up. And I can tell you every one of these drivers will have one eye on the tyre temps, and the second one will probably be on that weather widget, because that, I think, is going to be a factor. Be interesting to see if that cloud turns into anything more. Like I said, 6 times the scale. Anything can happen. Effectively 12 hours and 2.
As they roll around the final chicane now, forming up little awkward little complex of corners here for the drivers.
Yeah, and
to get
lap one
started.
start procedure won't start till they drop down the hill towards a
So
rouge.
yes, although the control line for the qualifying is back here, they just rolled over it. The
Yep.
start finish line is actually halfway
Well,
down the
the
hill.
start line is down the hill. Yeah,
Yeah,
the finish line is still
it's
back
still
there.
back
So
there. So very confusing place.
I like to do things different here.
Yeah, just to keep the comms team on their toes as well. Um, so around well, what is the initially really the first corner on the track here, and they're going to roll down here. This is Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. It is round 8. We are at Spa, if you couldn't tell, and we are just about to go green on an epic 2-hour race. We have a green light.
Yeah, good initial jump from Mav, but the Mustang's gone with side by side as Hendo and Dawson.
And Dawson, that's left Dawson hung out to dry. Crossy just looking to take advantage of that. He also in a Honda, and that is Fodido in behind. Spencer's lost the position to Clark.
Here comes the Mustang down the Kimmel Straight.
Mav's making him work the outside. Can he make that live out there, J-Man? Side by side, two very talented drivers here. Mav hung out to drive. Hendo looking for a go-to.
Yep.
Outside again.
Yeah, outside. So Mav called it, said he was going to get passed by the Mustang lap 1. I don't think he was anticipating getting passed by Nathan Henderson in the 31 Aston Martin as well. But look, everything looks relatively clean. We've still got a little bit of side by side. I think we've got Matty Dayton and
yeah, it's Dayton and Dixon there, J-Man.
Yeah, and then Jordan Moss.
Good, clean start. We don't always see this here at Spa. Makalos and Hughes as well. I think Hughesy just snuck past Makalos is there as well. So Makalos struggling a little bit for pace here. Collins losing a position to Turbot. And Gunther Rowe holding his own in 14th at the moment.
Clark up a couple. Matthew Clark up 2 spots. Will Dixon up 2. Ashton Hughes up 2. At the expense of Makalos down a couple. Danny Kim down a couple.
Danny Kim down a little bit as well, J-Man.
Yeah, 100%. So a little bit of feeling in this first lap. So the opening phase of this race. Remember, it is a 2-hour race too. So
good tidy start though, J-Man. Matthew Clark actually doing a stellar job there. Holding in 6th position, and Fodido, I think, maybe lost a position. I'm sure he qualified 6th. So as they run into the final chicane already, that's a lot.
Really challenging Webley here, mate, for the lead of this race. And look, I tell you what, up to that point there when they were coming down through Blanchimont, they'd actually pulled away from Maverick, but so good under brakes as Maverick and through the tight turns.
But here,
he goes back up.
After T1, that's all going to change again as they run down the hill, and the legs of the Aston and obviously Webley's Mustang, once they get through Eau Rouge, will pull away from the Honda. That's Dawson just in the background as well in that Bentley, and you watch that thing just mow the Honda down here, J-Man. Look at it. It's coming already.
Oh, mate, he's lining them up.
So play Fodido on. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're after a minor YouTube meltdown there, a few technical issues. So thanks for being patient. We did miss a couple of the laps there, J-Man.
Yeah, I'll bring you back up to speed if you like, and I can tell you now.
Please do.
Since we've left off, Maverick has managed to get past Nathan Henderson in the 31 Aston Martin. Trying to do something about what is the 2.5 to 2.8 second gap to Webley. The other big one as well is that we have got Crossy move up to P4. So he just recently, very recently, just got Pete Dawson. Now, the other big one, we didn't catch it. Obviously, we didn't catch it live and we didn't catch it off screen, but Nick Firth and Matty Dayton gone a long way back. Firthy back in 19th, Dayton back in 23rd. Now, that's big for Firth. It's going to be a big dig tonight. Currently sitting fourth in the championship, needs a lot more than that.
Yes.
But also, I saw a great drive coming from Matthew Clark. He put a move on out of turn 1 down to Eau Rouge, and I tell you what, Shane Fodderdo didn't want any part of it and just let him go. But since then, Matthew Clark's actually pressed on, and he's starting to hunt down Pete Dawson. We only missed effectively, I want to say, maybe 7 minutes of this race, maybe 8 if I'm being greedy. But we do appreciate you guys tuning back in. I can see that multiple of you have tuned back in, so we do appreciate it. We dearly hope that the internet gods and YouTube just call that the only one that we have tonight, and we can press on and watch some great racing, because I tell you what, it certainly has been pretty good up to this point. Costas Macrolos, he's still on the back of Tony Spencer, P11 at the moment, Mitchie Haas, and...
right in front there, so that's a good little three-way battle there. A couple of McLarens and the Ferrari of Macrolos, who is no slouch in that car. J-Man just tucked him behind. Dawson starting to put pressure. Now, when we just disappeared into the ether there earlier, Dawson was putting pressure on...
Well, look at us through Rouge.
It was actually Crossland getting past Dawson, so... That was one of the little moments we missed. But Dawson here, watch the legs again of this Bentley. I think he might have just backed out of that there a little bit, J-Man.
Yeah, track cuts will be a factor through a Rouge as well, mate. So, 2-hour race, you only get basically 3 or 4, and then you're coming through a drive-through. So,
yeah.
It's a long way to go.
That's right.
Yeah. You don't want to have to go and pay the man too early here. And pit lane's a long pit lane here at Spa.
It is incredibly long. And look, when you're trundling down it, it feels like it's as long as the track. Thank you, Louis, for tuning back in, my friend. We are back and better than ever. Fingers crossed for the rest of the stream here. But Dawson on Crossland, J-Man continues.
Yeah, so does Jordan Moss, and Ashton Hughes has been going on. So that position just swapped just about 2 to 3 turns ago. That they got Gunther Road just up the road of them. But as you mentioned, Dawson Crossland, and there is that car, that BMW, the number 2 car of Matthew Clark, and it's coming. Yep. And I'll tell you what, don't count out that BMW to make it as far as a podium here tonight, given the performance that we've seen him in the first 7 laps of this race.
Absolutely, J-Man, absolutely. And we will go back to that Haas Spence Macrolos battle as well.
Cheers, Mr. McConnell, for the update there. So Dayton lost it up Rattle and Firth pulled over. Don't know why. Okay, maybe.
May have been a little bit of contact there.
But nonetheless, Maverick really had to work over Hendo to get through. Since then, pulled away. That margin's still sitting around that anywhere from 2.2 to 2.8 seconds. Currently static at about 2.5. So he's working on it. Lap times for those two, Webley with a 2.19.1, Maverick with a 2.19.3 last lap around. So very, very comparable.
So Turbot on Goddard now with Kim actually just sneaking into that battle as well. I think that's Ben Collins, the newcomer.
Yeah, Ben Collins, the newcomer in the Aston. Yep.
Just tucking in there as well. So lovely.
There'd be a question for the developers, Hamish. It's a great question. Couldn't tell you, mate. Not sure why the car sounds
little
off.
Side by side down into a Rouge from Spence. Haas there, Haas just saying, I don't want to borrow that. You can have that, which has now made him vulnerable to Gunther Rowe out of nowhere up the inside.
Look out for the 580 Mustang. Look out for the pony power.
Wow. And just
he's struggling to pull it up on the brakes.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, uses plenty of the inside curb there just to try and address the speed on the Mustang. But just saw that all unfold in front of him and thought, okay, this is my chance. Macrolos on the outside. If he can make it live out there, J-Man, looks like he's going to. He's going to have the rights to the inside here. He's got no... Has he got the overlap? Only just.
It's still going on. It is still going on.
Very
It'll
much.
go on right the way down through here to the double launch. Oh, and he gets the better line on the way in. Someone kicked up a little bit of dust in front. I think it was the 580 car
That's
against the row.
Yep.
But that's not over for Mitchie Haas and Costas Makrolos. And look who's sitting in there. There's a 777 McLaren of Jordan Moss. So he only just got past Shuzy just a lap ago, and he's looking to try and tag on the back of Haas.
So, oh, look, the mover and shaker there has got to be Gunther Rowe again, J-Man.
Dawson crossed them too, mate.
Oh, side by side, up the hill.
Yeah, through Blanchimont. Oh, Crossy, all sorts of sideways through Blanchimont.
We just picked that up.
Good car control. So maybe done something to the rear end. And look at that, Matthew Clark having to take evasive action down under brakes into turn 18-19, the bus stop chicane. Wow. And look at what it cost Clark on the way out of there with that, missing that apex at 18. The Bentley and the Honda both pulled away. So once again, this will be about timing here for Pete Dawson. If he can be the right distance behind the Honda as they come up through Adelon.
And I mean, it's just that clean entry and exit out of a Rouge there, J-Man. Yep.
Much better distance. Watch for this Bentley to try and charge up behind the Honda here. Get underneath the wing of the Honda and try and bridge that gap. But Crossy got a good run through a Rouge that time. He did get a good run.
But look at the power. Look at the power of this as we look over the rear wing of the Sim Blacks Honda. J-Man left to run too long. Crossy lives to fight another sector or two at least, J-Man. But we've seen these two. Crossy again, a little sideways from the Honda on the exit there.
Oh, and it's heated up now. There's a five-way between Spence, Rowe, Makrolos, Haas, Moss. Moss just slightly off the back as Haas, but I tell you what, Spence, Rowe, and Makrolos, that is a battle going on right now.
Yeah, so he's really ranged quickly to the back of Spence there, J-Man, and like you mentioned, Moss just off the back of that, but coming quickly into the fray there with that group of cars there. That is a very healthy mid-pack there at the moment. And Dawson and Crossland again, still going at it.
Yeah, also Danny Kim, Mark Turbot, Ben Collins, that's still going on as well. So welcome to Rainlight Racing, Mr. Collins. He's in the thick of it there. P18 at the moment. Scott recovering. Nick Firth in 19th, just probably getting close to ranging up on the back of this pack, and that'll serve him well. Looking at...
and this time it was Dawson, very sideways, drift style. We'll get a replay of that. In the same corner, Crossland was sideways the lap before. So we just pick it up on the replay here. Wow. Which is, he really had to get out of that, which has put, that's Matty Clark.
Super sideways.
Super sideways there from the bend.
Yeah, now look, Clark, this is the same position that he sized up Shane Fodderdo earlier in the race to get past him. He didn't quite look for the over-under on the Bentley of Pete Dawson, but I tell you what, it's a move that he's already pulled, and if he can get himself into position into effectively turn one, which is La Source, he will have a look for a run down the inside into a Rouge on the Bentley, but the Bentley pretty handy in a straight line as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drift session, an expression session out there.
Yeah, mate, it's next level. Up the hill, that final left-hander there, full commitment from the boys.
Yeah, I like the look at Clark here to challenge, put a challenge on Pete Dawson here. I think he's just building into this race nicely.
I think so, J-Man.
Mitchie Haas, Makrolos. Was that a positional change? No, they're still stationary in there.
Yep. But in very close contact as well. And now just that 777 car of Jordan Moss now well tagged onto the back of that. But Matty Clark really showing his skills here. Newcomer to Rainlight Racing, and really showing what he's made of immediately here.
Oh, he has to back out of it. Firthy was looking at a move up the inside of Ben Collins, and he just had to grab the brake in the middle of the double gorge there. Oh, and he gets it done. He gets it done to the second phase of that corner there. Manages to round up Ben Collins. Set his eyes forward now on Daddy Kim. And then also Mark Turbot as well. So good patience, good presence to back out of it in the first phase, because he would have nearly had contact with the left quarter of Ben Collins's car, and then just switched the mindset and then went down the inside on the next corner. Big under brakes was Nick Firth, so well done. Okay, so status quo up the top. Looks like Crossy's actually made a little bit of margin over Dawson. Dawson got a little bit of pressure now from Matthew Clark.
Yes, I think Dawson's got other things to think about than the back of that Simblacks Honda at the moment. And yeah, he's really focused on what looks to be like a Falcon Tyres BMW there of Matty Clark. So,
oh, and I'll tell you what, who was that? I just saw Tony Spence with a big cut through a Rouge. We appreciate you, Uncle Joe, mate. Look, I tell you what, if we run into each other, I'll take you up on the offer, because I don't mind a beer, as does Davo. Look, he was very, very wide. That was a definite track cut for sure. We mentioned, you only get 3 freebies, and the fourth one to trip through a very, very long pit lane.
well, true, J-Man. As we have eyes on Spence, the leader of that very hectic little mid-pack going on there at the moment, J-Man. Fodado just out of that little group of cars and probably sitting in a little bit of clean air, and he would be happy to be there. Very long race. He's still got Will Dixon just quietly tucked in behind in the CrossCut WOODWORKS Carpentary and Joinery car.
Looks to the inside. Costas looks to the outside. It's getting really
busy.
spicy.
It's definitely getting busy here. So Gunther got plenty to think. Costas obviously just getting it to that phase of the tyres where the Ferrari is starting to show some pace, not overly quick in the early stage of the race here tonight at Spa for round 8. But presses on, like we mentioned, Dixon. Dixon actually getting right up behind Fodado now in the Aston. So nice work from Dixon.
Yeah, and look, Delta-wise, mate, I can tell you and the viewers, it was the first time that I've seen the Delta go below 2 seconds from Webley to Maverick. However, now that they're back on the Kimmel Straight, it has stretched out to 2.4, 2.5 seconds again. But it was the first time that I've seen the Delta as they came into La Source go back down to about 1.9 seconds. So just bear that in mind, that Maverick's just chipping away. And both these drivers will be watching their micro sectors to see where the strengths and weaknesses are, and they'll play to that. Webley will play to, look, the Mustang's clearly got an advantage over the Honda here. I'm going to make sure I capitalise, hit all my apexes here, do all the little things right, and then equally so Maverick as well. Such a smart operator also. He'll be looking to make every gain, because he's not going to do it in terminal speed, because I can tell you the difference there. Maverick's top speed 265, Webley's surprisingly only 269, given that the fastest terminal speed of this race is held by the Mustang of Gunther Rowe at 277 km an hour.
Wow, that thing is quick in a straight line, isn't it?
It is. We will see. It'll be a fair bit, I would think, before we get any pit movement. The weather stabilised too. We were under cloud cover at the start of this race with something like, I believe you called 19 ambient and 22 track. We're currently sitting at 21 ambient and 28 degrees track, and a fast track now. Not optimum. It started green. It is fast. This track is coming to them. However, a little bit of cloud around, but the sun is poking through. Well, once again, Dixon followed that battle. And then I can also see you got eyes on Macrolos having a good charge here, looking at Gunther Rowe.
It's still that group is angry, and what I do take from that is actually Jordan Moss dropped back from that pack a little bit, so maybe a bit of a slip from Geordie there, and he's lost a considerable amount of time from that group of cars. He was nearly tagged onto the back of that group, and now we could just see him in the back shot every now and then. There he is there.
Yep.
So, yeah, very angry little pack here, and very tightly bunched, J-Man, and when we see these guys get this close, there's only a car length or two between them, nose to tail. This is where the mistakes happen. The slightest little error can cause some pretty big moments. So Gunther looks like he has got that Mustang wound up. He would love to be just concentrating on the car of Spence in front of him, but he has always got Macrolos ducking in and out of his mirrors behind. Haas now on Macrolos. He's got the inside. He's got the overlap
up down the straight here. So this is McLaren on Ferrari. Gets out of it. And super sideways through there too as well.
Wow. Oh, yes, definitely. Who's that? Drive through for
Costas Macrolos.
222 car. I didn't see that come up earlier. That's just a reminder showing us there. So there you go.
Potentially just too much out of a Rouge, as he's the first of our drivers to take the long and lonely drive down pit lane. He won't be the last though, I'm sure. Also just watching that margin once again still with Dixon and Fodolo. That is so tight. Dixon looking super racy, and also Matthew Clark kind of stabilised now, just tucked in behind Crossy. Got there at a rate of knots, but I did pick up just recently P3 to P8 was around about 4.5 to 5 seconds. So the distance from making a podium at this point of the race from P3 to P8 only around 5 seconds. So still a lot to play for. We know how critical pit stops can be here. The little 1% is right.
Oh, definitely, J-Man. I mean, look, we've mentioned it a couple of times how long this pit straight is, this pit lane is, and look, if you're going to have to tunnel down pit lane, you want to make it work. You want to hit your marks and get it right.
Through for the drive-through.
Okay.
Oh, he will be dark on himself with this one, because it really does put him a long way back. You can already see Nick Firth in 16th already come through.
Yeah.
This will take him a long way down the pack, if not to the very back, because there goes Matty Dayton. Where's Kenneth Worcester? He's coming down through Blanchard onto the final turn. So is Ben Goebel as well. So, oh man, this is going to see Macrolos probably go right to the very back. And then he's still got to make an official pit stop down through here as well. So that's a tough gig. Top end of town, we still got Webley with around about 2.6, 2.7 seconds over Maverick. So that is a super competitive arm wrestle between the Mustang and the Honda at the moment. We saw they were super close in qualifying. And look, it's no different in the race. However, Webley managed to grab that track position. Hendo slotted in front of the 3 car for a little bit as well, which would have been music to the ears and eyes of Webley to see that happen, and Hendo just hold up Maverick for a little bit and gave him a little bit of a chance to make some margin. Dawson's managed to skip away a little bit from Crossy. We saw how competitive that battle was a little bit for a little while, actually. Now Matthew Clark really got the pressure on, and we don't need to look at the deltas to see how close Dixon and Fodolo is. This is a mischief waiting to happen. So hopefully it's all fair and love and war, but Dixon really eyeing up the back of the Fodolo car.
Definitely, J-Man. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we are only just a little over a quarter of the way through this race with 1 hour and 25 minutes on to go. So very, very, very early stages here in this 2 hour tonight for Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. It is round 8. We are at Spa. Hit the like and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for hanging in with us through some technical issues there earlier. J-Man, so much racing yet to go. A fairly hefty time-scaled race tonight too. So we will see this race end
in 5 minutes, mate. Rain in 5.
Well, get out of here.
Yeah. To answer your question, Uncle Joe, I'm not sure. Probably only Maddie could answer that question. We do miss her out on track. She has got a great turn of speed, great sim racer, heaps of respect, does Maddie have. So, yeah, we miss her out here. So hopefully she's at least tuning in, mate. Brake fail. What's this dirt dart? Brake fail blew right out of my rig. Oh my gosh, that is not good.
So that's Phil Davidson.
It's Philly boy. So
Phil.
That's a shame. And here, I expect to see some raindrops shortly from my deltas are telling me.
Well, this is going to sort them out, isn't it, J-Man?
Yep.
You know, you thought Rouge was a tough, serious, complex of corners in the dry. Wait till you see these guys run here, through here, in the rain. Well, look, we do quite often see rain at Spa. It's not an unusual thing, given the place in the world it is. So, where it's situated, who was that? That is Matty Clark, actually now on Crossland, and really starting to blow applying the blowtorch to the back of the Sim Blacks. Number 43, Steve Crossland Honda.
Oh, look, Webley, depending on where the rain comes, because we've seen it at Spa where it's turned up somewhere else in the track, but these guys are just crossing the line. What's the margin? Obviously, you saw it out at 3 seconds, but it closed back up as they came into La Source turn 1, currently sitting at 2.6. Who's going to see the rain first? They're not seeing it yet coming down through Rouge and Radillon, but if we go a bit further back, no wipers further back in the field. I think we would expect it to see at some point before the end of this lap. And it does look like it is scheduled to get pretty heavy too. So what are we potentially around about 22, 23 minutes away from what would be a halfway point making a stop? Webley very, very wide.
I saw that.
And here is the rain.
There it is.
Here is the rain. It is coming, and it is coming down fast.
Yeah, so it's an immediate downpour from these guys on slick tyres, and they will be scrambling.
You got to go. You've got to go to the pits. That amount of rain that quick, I'm sure you'd have to go.
Not looking to clear anytime soon, J-Man. So, I mean, they can be confident to put a set of wet tyres on, can't they, and not get caught out, so to speak.
Yep. Well, someone's got to stay out and think that they've got enough temperature and pressure in their tyres. And
who will that be? Who you got money on?
Look, I don't know. I can already see Hendo's down a 2.5 seconds. So is Mav. Webley's down a second, and he's just about a 1.5 seconds as well. So we've already bled off a 1.5 seconds, and it only started raining quarter way through the lap.
Oh, look, 10 seconds ago.
Yeah. Firth will stay out. Oh, that's a big call. He's already just about 3 seconds, just about lost it. Dayton's got the lights flashing. Why is he flashing the lights? He's flashing the lights at what appears to be a back marker. Blue flags are waving. Who is it? It is Ben Goebel. He's saying, mate, I want to get to pit lane. I want some tyres with grooves. This is a shit show. Right, Mav stays out. Webley stays out.
I did wonder whether these two boys would stay out.
Go in, Hendo. Come on, Hendo. No, Hendo stays out. Who's going in?
Dawson stays out.
Yeah. Crossy sideways goes in. Does Matthew Clark follow him? Yes, he does. Fodado stays out. So does Dixon.
So Crossland, the first of the leaders there, J-Man, to even think about it. He is in the pits in the 43 Simblacks Honda. This will be interesting. Oh, as we just see, that was Fodado run very deep, and now it's vulnerable to Dixon. They're going to run nearly side by side down to Arouche here, J-Man, in the wet.
Yeah, he didn't lift this time. So I'll be interested to see the lap time on a slick tyre here with this much rain, and whether this is a masterstroke from these front runners that have gone out. And we will find out, because Steve Crossland was the first to go as they trundled down a very, very long pit lane. So down in the boxes. We'll give you a read, viewers, on the
you can see
transit time and the stationary time.
You can see these guys sliding around. We have eyes on Shane Fodado at the moment, and the opposite lock on the car, trying to keep that car nice and straight on the exit. But yes, again, plenty of wheel work from Fodado to keep that OES McLaren in check, J-Man.
Yep.
Dixon not going anywhere. You can see the spray.
Look at the spray
coming off the back of these cars already. So it's seriously wet track already, J-Man.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I'll be interested in the battle on pit road between Matthew Clark and Steve Crossland, because they came in very, very close together.
So it was Clark that came in as well, is it? Yeah, nice work. Turbot losing a position to Collins there in the background.
And now Nick Firth.
Flurry of pit stops at the moment as these guys scramble for wet tyres.
Now Firthy came through the lane, however, didn't make a stop.
Okay, I wonder what's going on there, as we just see Fodado actually moving away from Dixon. Fodado really soaring at the wheel to keep that thing in check, but making a gain on the Aston. Maybe Dixon just thinking, oh look, I'll just air on caution here. Oh, Fodado extremely wide out of the final left up the hill there. Will he come in for tyres? J-Man, can he stop that thing? He's going to go again, and so is Dixon.
Webley, Maverick.
Well, it's pretty well the whole...
Henderson, they've all gone again. They've all gone. I just can't help but think that this could come back. This could come back to the likes of Crossan, who managed to get out in front of Matt. Oh, Crossan in the fence, heavy on his own, relinquishes that position to Matthew Clark. Now, that'll be a very, very big Honda, because he went straight into the wall with some pace. If you want to catch a replay on that one.
We got replay on that, J-Man, and again, it's that Honda flick, J-Man. He grabbed the opposite lock as he jumped into the left-hander there, and it just tank slapped him straight into the wall. Is that rain going to clear, J-Man?
Yeah, look, it is supposed to ease inside the next minute, and inside the next 5 minutes, literally be gone to what is just cloud. But
wow,
is that the call? Is Webley, Maverick, and Co? Are they just going to lose some time here on a slick tyre and press on towards the halfway mark of this race? Grab another slick and absolutely just plough on through, because you would have called at the time that Crosslands and Co made the right call.
Yeah, definitely, but clearly just a big dump of rain, little rain cell just sweeping across the track here. Quite heavy rain at that. It really has soaked the track. You can see as we still have eyes on Crossland's car here. Very shiny track, a lot of water on the track, loads of spray. But with this rain potentially clearing, we would expect that to clear fairly quickly and, start to generate a dry line with these guys on slick tyres.
I tell you what, that Mustang Webley's very, very good in all conditions, because he's still out there on a slick. 234 won last round versus Mavericks 235, which sees that margin blew out from what was 2 seconds prior to the rain coming out to 5 seconds now. So the Mustang very, very well balanced. However, times wise for guys on a slick tyre, I'm about to get a read shortly Just trying to get a read on somebody like Matthew Clark and see what he ends up completing a lap in, which will be one of his first flying laps on the wet tyre. Dayton in the pits. Oh, Dayton. That thing is proper bent.
Dayton
Just
and
stop go
Worcester.
for speeding for Matty Dayton as well, just to compound it. Oh, and he's escaped back.
Frodo Dixon up to one, nose to tail.
Yeah, battle's still going on. Frodo very wide. Dixon's going to have a run here. So Dixie in the 997 Aston Martin down the inside. We've seen Frodo lift in this position before.
Look, we've seen these guys run down to this. Oh, he's got it this time. We've seen him run side by side. Dixon looks very awkward running down into that early phase of Rouge there.
Yeah,
but gets it done.
With the stop go 30.
Still wriggling around as they run up the hill, up Camel. Wow.
Yeah, so that was Ken Worcester. Ken Worcester just clearing a stop go. Oh, sorry, he was in. I think he got a stop go and then come out with a stop go 30. So must have sped in the pit lane.
Yeah, I think he was in for a stop, and then he's picked up that stop go, Joe, man. So not ideal.
Less than ideal. So great pass there from Dixon just to keep the pressure on. Both see these guys out there still running on a slick tyre. Gunther still on a dry tyre. Jordan Moss still on a dry tyre. Hughesy dry. Collins dry. It's not until we get down to Matthew Clark that we see the wet tyre in action. 232 plays 243, 242. So he's 10 seconds a lap faster than the leaders right now. Overall time, he's around about 24 seconds off the leader this race. So potential for a double stopper out here tonight. Could that be a successful formula? Possibly.
Quite possibly, J-Man, as we just pick up on Spence Firth, and I think that is Crossy just in amongst that as well. Firthy just letting the boys sneak past there. Firthy not confident with that car in the rain, J-Man.
Both of them running through Rouge.
Both of them there at reasonably slow pace, so they may not even pick up an infringement for J-Man. It looks like the rain has stopped, but a very, very wet track still.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Turbot, obviously unpitted at this point in front of the likes of Clark and Co that have made a stop, but he is currently running P11 outright, so that's an AM driver up to P11 on merit, plus a little bit of stopping as well, so very, very good drive from Mark tonight.
Absolutely.
Who is that chasing down? Okay, so that's Mavericks obviously got round what I think would be it'd be Goddard, it'd be George Goddard. Yeah, so back lap marker there. Worcester back into the lane to clear that stop go 30. That's going to be a long 30 seconds to sit there, mate. Maverick, now why is Maverick 2.2 seconds behind Webley, and Webley's car is proper beat up in the front?
Oh, so no.
I'm not sure if we can grab a 30 on Webley, but something's gone amiss there.
We'll go back 60 and see if we can see. So clean car at 60 seconds a minute ago as he rounds T1 there, J-Man, in the replay. Rolls down the hill towards Eau Rouge with a very slick track. Immaculate Mustang at this stage. Oh, gets a bit of a wiggle there on the entry. Carts through slowly. Not looking comfortable in that car. Car still on. There it is. Gets a slip. Now I've seen a few cars there. Very wet patch of the road there. That little kink. And we've seen a few wriggle up through there. And now fairly hefty damage on that Mustang. How quickly things can change. So Brandon Webley, leader of the race, now with a very busted crab Mustang.
So what happened to Maverick too? Because he got a lot closer, and then he was ahead of Goddard. Now Goddard's back through, and now he's hunting down Webley to try and unlap himself.
And the freaking sun's out, J-Man. What the hell?
Yeah, I tell you, I'm not. I'm at a bit of a loss there. Matthew Clark gone to get off of this wet tyre. He doesn't want any part of that.
Nah,
Can see the conditions ahead are favourable towards the dry track. So rather than stay out there too long, he's going to go and jump back on a slick tyre. So it won't be any fuel involved. It'll be just a quick tyre change.
Definitely, J-Man. Now, Hendo, really shown a really good clean set of heels in the race. He did mention he was up for a in-car interview if we wanted to drag him into the comms box just quietly. But
righto.
Well, righto.
Righto then. Okay. So we'll go and find him then. Where is Hendo? Right, we got him.
Hendo,
here he comes.
Hendo holding down a solid third position on what is now a drying track.
As he just gets super sideways through a rouge, so we probably upset him a little bit there. Probably should have grabbed him on the Camel Straight, but we've got you, Hendo, loud and clear, mate. Look, just a mixed bag of conditions out there, mate. You got your old mate Pete Dawson behind you. How's things going out there?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I'm trying to keep Pete behind me, but he's I think the lighter that Bentley gets, the faster he's going.
Look, I tell you what, the amount of times that thing's licking flames out the two side exit pipes, I'm sure that's drying that tyre off a little bit more than the average car, mate. So I think that's part of the success. But, hey, look, great start to the race. Managed to get out there and run P2 for a bit, put yourself between Maverick and Webley, and then obviously Mav got through, and you've been a solid third. Trying conditions out there, definitely the right call, Hendo, to stay out there on those slick tyres and those conditions.
Yeah, mate, I'm going to run it long, I think. I've got another 8 laps of fuel, so I was seeing on the weather forecast that the rain was only going to be 10 minutes and it was stopping, so may as well just put up with it and on the slicks, mate.
Good call, Hendo.
What's your thoughts, Hendo? Do you think, obviously, you know, we've effectively got another hour coming up after this next 8 minutes, which is effectively 6 hours in virtual time. Do you think the chance of seeing more rain before the end of this thing's a possibility?
I reckon it'll happen, mate. Yeah, definitely 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
Righto, we won't hold you up for too long, Hendo, because you've obviously got to think about tyre pressures and tyre changes shortly. So well done.
But we will give you the quick heads up. Webley has been into the wall in the last lap, and he has a very damaged Mustang at the moment.
He does.
Just running in front of you, so he might be in for some repairs, my friend. So good luck. Keep that thing pointing forwards, mate.
Yeah,
cheers,
mate.
Fellas.
Yeah, spices forward, mate. Keep it spices forward.
I'll try. Thanks, fellas.
Right.
Well done, Hendo.
Nathan Henderson, everyone.
So what is the margin? 1.5 seconds out the front. So running on a wet tyre when the rain came, and he is actually still cycling around on a wet tyre. Currently, last lap time for Tony Spence was a 2:32. So that wet tyre is still holding up at the moment because the track, what's the classification on the track at the moment, Davo? It's damp. So that tyre's still working at the moment, but I would suspect it won't work for too much longer. So yeah, he's doing a great job, obviously, of the official pit stops to be cleared. And then you do have Mitchie Haas behind him. Now, Mitchie Haas, he's also out there on a wet tyre, so he'll have to think about changing that rubber at some point as well.
Yes, Louis, I agree. Turbot in P11, great drive from him so far. Both him and Hughes, a couple of Porsches out there. Not getting a lot of love, the Porsches in this series, but yeah, these guys are rocking them and doing a stellar job in the mid-pack. And eyes forward, yeah, didn't go back to the wets. There was only a handful of guys. It was only just the two, was it? Crossland and Matty Clark, was it?
Yeah, Matthew Clark, also Crossland, I think. Goddard's on a wet. Mitchie Haas is on a wet. Spencer's on a wet. I think that was it. We did see, I think, yeah, we've already seen Matthew Clark come in and go back to a dry.
Yeah, so now Clark, we just actually got eyes on Frodo with Clark's car just in front of him, out of position. Now both on a dry tyre. Well, Fodado stayed on his dry tyre. We are winding down towards the halfway mark here, J-Man.
Mitchy Haas on Spence, doesn't get it done, switches back. These a couple of blokes on wet tyres. 228 for Haas, 233 for Spence. Leaders are running 233s on a dry tyre out there at the moment, so that gap really shrunk. 1 second is the margin, so this is the closest we've seen it all race between Maverick and Webley, so that is crushed down big time.
Be interesting to see. Well, clearly that just visually we can see the damage on Webley's car. Surely it's slowing that Mustang to a certain extent. Does he clear, get the mechanics on the tools on that car and get some repairs done so that he can take it to Mav at the end of the race? Because he's looking vulnerable at the moment.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was his advantage, right? So in the lap. So, I mean, it depends. I think probably at some point, if you've got to stop for repairs and Mav doesn't, given how close the times were when they were battling, you'd have to argue if he does it, is it actually a defence of somebody like Nathan Henderson, who's out there, got a super, super clean car, cycling in the same pace, actually, was actually the quickest car out of the top three at the last lap round on a 2:33. 3 was there, literally just cycled through minute 11. I don't know if we missed a drive through or something there for Firthy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not sure there.
Mr. McConnell, whether you can tell us whether maybe Firthy copped a drive through or something as to why he went through the pit lane, but I didn't pick up on it.
As we just pick up on the leaders now, J-Man, Webley and Mav, like I said, that gap crushed right down to just a car length or so, and Mav really filling the mirrors of Webley's
He's having
Mustang.
a good look at the source this time round.
It's getting serious, but again, as they get out of a rouge here, the legs of the Mustang will stretch.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what it's like now. How bad is the damage? What is the top speed? Like, obviously, they're not coming through a rouge and rattling as quick as they would have been in the dry, but I saw 255 last that round. 255, 257. Yeah, so that actually 257 was Mav.
There you go, with draft under the back wing of the Mustang, pulling that number 3 Red Bull Honda along, J-Man.
Yeah, and hey, look, and Hendo's actually taken out a second out of the lead of those front two in the last lap. I mentioned that he was 7.3. I think it was a very similar spot. He was then 6.3, currently 6.3, 6.4 now. So Hendo's just working away nicely. Like I mentioned, Webley 32.9, Maverick 31.9, Hendo 31.1. So definitely a lot better consistent pace and fresh air has Hendo at the moment over Maverick and Webley.
Definitely, J-Man. You can see him just back a shot every now and then. So still well in touch with the two leaders here. And you can just see him there in back a shot. So only one corner back from these guys as they sort of seesaw in this little battle. I don't think Mav's giving, sort of really threatening Webley at the moment, but he's just making sure he knows he's there, as we just see Webley very sideways off the corner at the bottom of the hill there as they run.
Again. Yeah.
Whew, run up the hill.
Still willing to just drop an outside tyre onto the curb or the grass, and that's just really risky in these conditions. So he's obviously prepared for the sidewaysness, and I couldn't imagine that this tyre set's going to go much longer than the 60-minute mark.
Very wide this time though, J-Man, through the left-hander.
Yeah, and look, that'll be naturally, that will go down probably as one of those track cuts, because it didn't look like he lifted.
And Mav into the pits.
Okay, so as mentioned earlier,
we also have Huss and Goddard in the pits as well, ladies and gentlemen. So, look, that allow Webley just to breathe a sigh of relief and just be able to focus on his lap times here for another lap or two.
Yeah, so this is Mitchy Haas getting off the wet tyre.
Dawson as well, J-Man, in the pits.
Yep. And so Dixon in the lane as well relinquishes that 5th spot back to Shane Fodderday. Pete Dawson, as you mentioned, in the lane. So that sees...
Okay. Come on.
We're back.
We're back. Oh, gosh.
They're challenging us tonight, mate. They're making us earn our money tonight.
You're not wrong.
However, not a lot happened. We pretty much only lost a lap there, Davo. So welcome back, viewers. Appreciate your patience when this does happen. However, Maverick Webley did make the official pit stops, and Maverick managed to do the undercut on Webley. Webley repaired the car, so it was some 4 seconds the difference, Davo, between the stationary time on the jacks. Webley's car still carrying a little bit of damage on it, so I don't think he got to repair everything.
It's raining, J-Man.
And it is raining again. hey, riddle me this. Is there anybody still left out there?
On a wet
tyre?
I don't think so. I think they all threw them over the fence.
They chucked them away, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me just... Oh, no, Danny Kim's still on a wet tyre.
Oh, there you go.
Danny Kim is still on a wet tyre. This rain is only scheduled to hang around for around about 6 to 8 minutes, however. So his time in the... Oh, hang on a sec. Who else? Yeah, I believe that is the only car out there on a wet.
So interesting times. Here's Hendo in the pits, J-Man. That will be his scheduled stop too, I would suspect, after we just did talk to him a little bit earlier in car. So that has actually put Shane Fodderday in the lead of the race provisionally, interestingly enough. He was running in about 6th position before the schedule stops, so it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Yeah, look, something to consider too was the strength of the Mustang in the wet conditions earlier on the slick tyre over Maverick's Honda. Now, the gap from Maverick to Webley, 2.3 seconds. Maverick just actually coming up in behind what appears to be George Goddard.
Yes.
Just trying to round him up. He'll have blue flags, I believe. So he just rounds him up into the final chicane. And then we'll see Webley very quickly arrive as well into that same chicane. So it'll be interesting to see, like I mentioned, the strengths of that Mustang in these variable conditions.
As Hendo...
Still on the jacks.
Yeah, so he starts to go back a couple of positions. There's still Fodderday, Moss, Hughes, Collins yet to pit. So
that Hendo gets the car underway.
That will equalise as this race goes on, J-Man. And yes, look, thanks for bearing with us tonight. The internet gods have not been nice to us, but we will thank everybody for joining us once again here for Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. We're going to thank Simblacks. We're going to thank CrossCut Woodworks. We're going to thank True to Life Racing Designs, Crossy 43 and Hendo. And of course, Matchfit Entertainment for trying to keep the cogs turning here tonight and keep this broadcast live for you all to view. J-Man, what do you got eyes on?
Well, I got eyes on the strategy of Nathan Henderson, and I'm not sure that he's made the right call here because he's come out on a wet tyre. This rain isn't scheduled for very long. So I just don't know if he's... Yeah, I don't know if he's made the right call here. However, it still would have been tricky to come out at this phase of the race on a brand new slick and not have any temp in it. So he was going to be up against it either way, as he just tries to round up George Goddard down the inside, and he has that is very much Brandon Webley just up in front of him, and he's going to catch that car
coming quick,
at a rate of speed on a wet tyre versus a slick. So Webley will be wondering what the hell's going on here, and this will be an opportunity for Hendo to try and get past and make some margin because he's going to have to get off those tyres before too long, because you can see on the widget, well, I can see on my widget.
Oh, look,
Webley,
Webley
says.
responds to Henderson and gets so sideways. And again, big flick.
Oh.
Votto in the pits, J-Man.
Yeah, now
puts Jordan Moss provisionally in first on the road at the moment. Endo and Webley very wide to the left as they run up the hill.
Yeah, you can see Mav just exiting that same chicane. So this will be Hendo just trying to do his level best, trying to put some margin on these boys, and then he'll know already. I'm sure he'll have the weather widget up to show that he's going to have to stop again.
Look at the gap that he's got on Webley already, though.
Yeah.
Just look at it. Webley is way back in the spray. And he's already well on his way to chasing down Mav's Honda there, J-Man, the Red Bull car.
Man, that's a massive margin in a short period of time that he put on the Mustang.
Yeah. And look at it. Look at how quick he's coming up
behind.
He's
just going to round up Mav here.
Drive past him. Oh, Webley! And Webley off again.
Webley hits that puddle again. Coming through Redlon, up the Kimmel Straight. That is just... And the bonnet is up on that thing, is proper bent. I'll try and get in car, have a look at his steering. What's it like? Doesn't appear to be too bad.
Oh, tough.
Oh, that car is not in a good shape. I tell you what, if I was...
Oh, yeah, it is properly bent.
If I was Nathan Henderson, I would bank on just smashing these tyres for the next 3-4 laps and going and getting a brand new set of slicks. Because I believe probably Webley's going to have to come in for some more repairs anyway.
Well, who's his next threat, J-Man?
Pete Dawson. Pete Dawson.
Who's now behind Webley as Webley just drifts that Mustang around. Well-beaten car. He's struggling to keep that thing in the corner. Dawson will smell the blood. Look at it. All over the place.
Round up Macrolos. Just look at this wet tyre. Just absolutely putting on a clinic right now with this tyre on. Flies past Macrolos and he's going to start eyeing up the road. Ben Collins, who's just had Crossland past him. Collins is on. Oh, Crossland loses it. Coming through Blanchimont. Who's that? Macrolos loses it as well.
Oh, that was Macrolos.
Time. Yeah, his car's going everywhere in these conditions, so it must be a whole lot wetter this time round than the first time. So was that the right call from Nathan Henderson to get on the wets? Because we're just seeing them falling left, right, and centre.
Oh, and Macrolos hard into the fence too, J-Man. Big tank snapper.
Yeah, massive.
Very Honda-esque. Big snap, a little bit of oversteer, and then snap, and it's just throws him into the wall as he dawdles that car back onto track.
Moss in the pit lane. First and official scheduled stop. This will be a big call. Does Moss get on to a slick tyre?
Now, Macrolos in as well, J-Man. Now, we know how Mossy likes to run long here. He's done just that. Hour and 15 minutes.
Rain's just stopped. He needs to put on a slick tyre here.
For Mossy.
Yes, he needs to bolt on a slick tyre here, mate. And I tell you what, it could serve him very, very well because the Webley car's pretty beat up. Moss a long way out of that top 3 battle, but what he does here could shape up the next 45 minutes of his race and to see where he finishes out.
So the question really is what does Hendo do? Like, I know he's going to make some gains, but this dry line will form fairly quickly and he will want to get in and off those dry tyres pretty smartly, those wet tyres pretty smartly, won't he?
Yeah, look, he's by far the quickest car by a long shot out the moment, so I still believe he's got probably another 2-3 laps.
Yep.
Easily banging around anywhere from a 32 to a 35 second lap while these guys are punching around 245s to 255s.
Is that enough?
Look, it's not, because just a transit time on its own is a minute and 11 seconds. And then you could add a tyre change in there as well to be another 30 odd seconds. So somewhere around that minute 40. Somewhere around that
it's a long
minute
time.
40-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just needs to go and do his thing. G'day, Matty. Good for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Hendo out there doing his thing. Ashton Hughes. Now,
Currently provisionally
P1.
first. Yes.
Yeah, he's out there just punching away all night.
He has.
Expect to see that car in shortly, if not now.
Dawson now starting to get on the back of Webley's car. That is Crossland just in the background as well. Now we called Crossland and Makalos going off.
Racing out of 18th, Davo.
So yeah, Dawson now look at how immaculate the Bentley is. It has not got a scratch on it.
Yeah, he's sizing him up here.
Really solid race from Dawson so far, and holding a little bit of a slip into the corner there, but yeah, just probably doesn't. He probably looks at the condition of that Mustang, and goes, "Oh, I don't want to park near that guy." Just look what he does to his car. So up the inside here, Will Webley not covering whatsoever.
Look, Hendo's put 15 seconds on Maverick since making the pass.
Oh, wow.
On this wet tyre. So you've absolutely got to beat this tyre until you see that margin start heading the other way. And the second you see the deltas going the other way against somebody like Maverick, because he's technically, I don't think he's racing Maverick. He's actually racing Dawson. Now, Dawson's strategy was certainly a good one.
And we just saw, look, we're just looking over the rear wing, sorry to interrupt there, of Dawson's car. They come through that kink, and Dawson slipped, and you could hear it in the tyre, and Webley again got very sideways in the Mustang. So, that, you know, with both of these big powered cars running through that kink under load, they get very taily as they run up onto Camel Straight there, J-Man. So still very sketchy with track conditions out there at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So lap time comparison from Hendo to Mav last lap round, 2:30.7.
And
so 2:30.7 for Henderson and a 2:40.4 for Maverick. So some 10 seconds the difference.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you can keep banking 10 seconds a lap quicker, it will fall away at some point. It will fall away as this track keeps drying, but he just needs to keep banking them. And remember that he's actually racing Pete Dawson. Now, Pete Dawson's, so Maverick is around about, so he's nearly 20 seconds. So 34 seconds, the difference between Hendo and Dawson. He needs to just keep punching away. He's got to get it at least up to a minute 20, a minute 30 to cover off Dawson, and then maybe come out with 25 odd minutes, 30 minutes to go with a fresh set of slicks and try and have a better tyre on to fight Dawson with, because I think that's what the fight will be. Maverick kind of in the box seat, got the strategy going on, is on the correct tyre at the correct time. That Honda's absolutely filthy, but
Moss
I'd hate
in
to be
the
washing
pits?
that.
Is that the second time Moss has been in the pits, or is he still in the pits?
Mossy.
I thought he'd already been in.
Okay, I'll tell you. That is Mossy's second trip to pit lane for whatever reason.
Okay, so it's something I've gone awry there. I suspect J-Man. Definitely unscheduled stop there for Jordan Moss in the 777 ASR and Z car. So he'll be having a good hard think about what went wrong there as he sits on the jacks.
Yeah, Fodder in a good position too, racing out of P5. I believe he started out of P6, but he's going very, very well. 2:28 plays a 2:37 last lap around. So once again, not quite 10 seconds, but nonetheless still climbing in the right direction. So has got around about 36, 37 seconds to Dawson. So still needs to keep building on that. But as we say that, you can see the sun is really well and truly out now.
Yeah.
And the more that track sort of dries up, the worse it gets for Hendo. Okay, so margins-wise, Ashton Hughes, Gunther Rose, a good little battle going on, both on the same tyre, both on a dry tyre. I believe we actually only have the one car out there on the wet tyre at the moment, which is Nathan Henderson. I don't believe I saw... oh, no, I tell a lie. Danny Kim is out there on a wet tyre also, so he'll be in a world of hurt with those things at the moment. Oh, and also Kenneth Worcester still out there circulating on a wet tyre. So 3 drivers out there at the moment still on a wet tyre. 2:29 that time around for Nathan Henderson. And then we'll get a read very, very shortly.
Just every time I get Webley's car on camera, it is sideways. He has got so much car on his hand to deal with here. Loads of wheel work continuously. Espoto looks like he might have him here. And Webley, I think, may have just stepped aside there a little bit and just go, mate, I've got nothing for you, bro. Like, it's yours.
So that's a positional change.
That is a positional change. So Fondo, stellar job tonight, actually. Been in a couple of battles throughout the race so far, and really has kept his nose clean and kept that car slowly moving forward, hasn't he, mate?
Yeah, and then look, on predictive time at the moment, given the battle that Hendo's facing, he was only about 6.5, 7 seconds faster than Maverick that last lap time round. So that delta's starting to go back the other way now, which is what we mentioned.
Yes.
And Fodo is only 2.5 seconds behind Pete Dawson, who is in provisionally P3. I think a podium here for Shane Fodo is very, very much on the cards.
Yep. Again, we just saw back a shot there. Webley super sideways through the kink out onto Camel there. So, wow, that guy's got his hands full tonight, J-Man. What a workout for the next 36 minutes for Brandon Webley.
Ashton Hughes doing a great job as well at really reining in this Mustang of Gunther Rowe, who was just flashing the lights at... nobody. He just must be just flashing the light. Maybe he's flashing the lights at us. G'day, Gunther. How are you, mate?
G'day, Gunther, mate. But yeah, look, Hughes, maybe not reining in so much, but definitely staying in touch with the Mustang in that Porsche. And yeah, look, Gunther in a fine patch of form at the moment, so no slouch. So Hughesy doing a great job. To stay tagged onto the back of that Guerrilla Racing Mustang here tonight, J-Man. Oh, and you see them both wriggle through the kink there. Must be just a wash of water running across the track there. It really, if you're not ready for it, the cars are well loaded, you know, pulling up the hill there. Plenty of torque from these GT3 cars. And they hit that little wash of water there, and we just see just about the whole field wriggle through there. And we've seen Webley into the wall twice in that area of the track. So, very dangerous part of the track at the moment.
So, give you an update as well. I'm watching intently to the Nathan Henderson Maverick battle. And so, Hendo through on a 28.7. Once again, Maverick through on a 35.1. So, still to the good of Hendo. Still needs to keep punching those numbers. We're now talking about the 50-second range now. To Pete Dawson, you heard me talk about, look, if he comes in and makes a tyre change, somewhere around that minute 40. So still a long, long way to go. However, the Delta's still trending in the right direction for Hendo as far as the lap time. If he can still keep punching somewhere in those 27, 28 second laps. But every time he does that, these guys are going to improve. Expect to see Maverick probably drop down very, very shortly into the 34s, the 33s. And as that trends that way, you'll see Hendo start trending the other way, start heading closer. The margins will get smaller. So although Maverick really sideways has a big run through the chicane. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. I was going to say, hey, please come back. Don't leave me, Jack. Come through on the stream, bro. Come back.
Come back. It's back. It's back.
It's a Titanic moment. Well, there's that much water, mate. Sorry, viewers, we're back again. This is take 3.
Oh, I don't know. It might be 4. I don't know.
It
I've
could be
lost
4,
friggin'
but hey,
count.
look, nonetheless, the rain is coming back down. Is this a master stroke from Hendo 31 in
It
the
must
car?
be.
He is out there on a wet tyre. 29 and a half minutes to go. He's got 46 seconds over Maverick. Some minute 5, minute 10 or something now over Shane Fodderdo. 2:28.1 last lap time round for Hendo. The tyres cooled off. Maverick's back into the 34.8s. Fodderdo into the 34.8s. While we're just away briefly, sorry guys, on that. Yeah, get the Magneto out. You're not wrong there, Craig McConnell. And I can tell you now, Fodderdo managed to pip Dawson just as the cameras went down, and he is in a provisional 3rd. Dawson's tucked in there, and who is that? In the... Just trying to pick up, who was that? Was that the... I was just trying to see who the car was. I thought that was the Mark... I thought it was, so, Ashton Hughes. Where is Ashton Hughes?
So, yeah, you were talking about Dawson. Yeah, that was Dawson, and I think it was Turbot, actually.
So, the numbers and the weather trending in favour of Hendo right now. I feel like on the Kimmel Straight. Am I allowed to grab him again on the Kimmel Straight?
Just maybe later. We got 28 minutes to go, J-Man. Just let this man work.
Okay, yeah, I won't jinx him.
Because doing a stellar job, and like I said, maybe just the right strategy at the right time here. Look, we did expect a little bit of weather here, J-Man, but look, they've had as many showers as we've had dropouts tonight. So, doing a fantastic job to stay out on these wets and just
I'm going to grab him. He's on the Kimmel Straight. I'm grabbing him right now while he's on the straight. I won't jinx him. Make sure you don't miss your brake mark there, Hendo, mate, but we've got to grab you. I feel like this is a masterclass performance here. Right tyre at the right time, buddy. Keep focused here. Just choose the opportunity to talk to us when you can. Got around 53 seconds over Mav. Can you bring this thing home?
I think so, mate. I think while it's still wet, if I can pull big enough gap, I might be able to just leave the wet tyres on, and hopefully he won't be able to close up. I'm not sure what the speed difference is, like wet to dry tyre, but
look. You were about 10 seconds a lap faster at the peak wet conditions over Maverick. It crunched down to as low as 5.5 before the rain came back. So we can certainly see that, given the amount of rain that's coming down, Hendo, that you well and truly know that you've got multiple laps after the rain stops to be able to carry on pressing on that tyre. And to be honest, mate, fuck it, you don't need those tyres after this anyway, so just go out and absolutely smash them.
That is true. I mean, I suppose the weather will probably be really good while the other slicks are getting up to temp still, because it'll take them a couple of laps to even get up to temperature. So fingers crossed for more rain, to be honest. But
yeah, 9-second swing to the favour of Hendo in the last lap time round, mate. So a 30.2 plays a 39.3. So
nice work.
Yeah, just keep pressing on, Hendo. I don't want to jinx you on this thing, mate, but you're doing an absolutely beautiful job out there. You had to back yourself with that tyre choice. I wondered whether it was the right thing to do, mate, but well done.
Thanks, fellas.
No worries, mate. J-Man's doing the rain dance for you, mate. So
100%. Yeah, Titanic moments. All right, mate. We'll leave you to it. All the best.
Cheers, boys.
Godspeed.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I'm really, really pumped for what could be a breakout victory here for Hendo, because he's doing a great job. Mav, I mean, when you've got a competitor like Mav, so 2:29.6, we'll give you a read on what Maverick runs when he gets down there. But
Mav's only halfway around the lap, mate. He's way back.
Yeah, look, he's nearly, he's basically borderline a minute behind.
Yeah.
Now, Fodderdo's another 16.5 seconds back from that, and then Dawson's another 5 seconds behind that. So technically, the worst case scenario, I think, at the moment for Hendo would be a fourth if it all went wrong and he had to come and change his tyre. But look, I think he feels confident, and all the best. He took the risk. A lot of the stuff is about, taking the risk, strategy calls.
Absolutely.
and we'll get a read. Like I said, 2:29.6, and we're about to get a read on what Maverick's going to do this lap in these conditions.
Yes.
Obviously, still very, very wet out there at the moment.
Let's just do that as J-Man crunches the numbers on the Rainlight Racing Abacus.
So 2:29.6 plays a 2:37.7. So still to the tune of a good 8 seconds.
Yeah, and he needs every single one of those seconds, J-Man. We must thank you guys for being so persistent with us last night. Well, with YouTube.
Tonight, yep.
I'm just handballing this problem to YouTube. But yeah, look, really, thanks for
crossing. Sorry, Dave.
Rainlight Racing. Yeah.
As Hendo crosses the lap again, banks in another super consistent 2:29.480. So nothing short of consistent is Nathan Henderson right now. And he has got minute 7, minute 8 over Maverick. Another 14.5 seconds to Fodado. Another 7 seconds to beat Dawson. So he's just got to keep pressing on. Just absolutely keep pressing on at the moment to try and make the most. Why does this keep doing this to mine? Bugging mine out too, eh? The bloody... Just under 22 minutes left to go in this race. The numbers, what are still compounding in the favour at the moment of Hendo. Obviously, once again, we are seeing this drying track forming again. However, still enough spray and stuff out there for Maverick to have his window wiper going. So
yeah, Mav. What do we got? The gap, Mav to Hendo to Mav.
Oh, Hendo to Mav's minute and 11.5. So nearly a minute 12.
Okay, so he's still making those gains, and gains big enough to you know, like if he needed to come in for a dry tyre, that he might possibly be able to do that. 20 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us.
Isn't it funny? Some EpiPen. They need an EpiPen, mate. I'll tell you what, I'm going to need an EpiPen before the end of the night there, Philly. But yeah, no, hey, look, I think there'd be little to no point, even if it really started drying up for the next 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure Hendo could manage something what was, you know, minute 13 to minute 15 gap. 97 seconds for tyres. Yeah, righto. Yeah, that's probably somewhere where we thought. It's the whole transit time. It's, you know, it's the fact that it still takes a minute and 11 seconds. You know, so basically your 71 seconds for a transit plus the tyres.
But he's getting towards that sweet spot, isn't he? But look, the time is ticking very quickly here, J-Man, as this race winds down.
Yeah, look, he's still improving. He's still improving too. He was consistently banking sort of 29.8s, 29.6s. The last lap round was a 28.3. Mav backed up a couple of 37.6s, one after the other. We're going to get a read very, very shortly on what Maverick's about to fire through across the line this time around.
And just quietly, the trackside lights just came on as well. So we're getting, time-wise, it's starting to get late. Track temperatures 16 and ambience are 16, J-Man.
See, 37.0 for Mav, so that's another 9-second gain. So minute 18 now. So look, Project Delta, yeah, I'm hearing you that the opportunity's there, but I think given that every time you come through pit lane, there's a risk on speeding into pit lane or bringing the tyre back up to temp. I think if he's got the margin and the tyre's not going to pop or explode on him, I think just press on. He looks pretty stable out there. He's out there banking. Still banking the fastest laps of this race, 2:28. He's doing it comfortably by 8 to 9 seconds every single lap. I'm looking down through the field. The only other car in the same bracket at the moment is Nick Firth. He's out there on a wet tyre also. Currently P16 trying to hunt down Jordan Moss. Got about 4.8, 4.9 seconds, and he's doing 2:31 last time round. Otherwise, prior to that, he was 2:29. So the wet tyre still, funnily enough, is the best tyre to be on right now. Yeah, Fodado making a little inroad that lap round, but not by much into Maverick Davo. But yeah, outside of that, looking through the field, relatively spread out, which you'd expect so after around about an hour and 40 odd minutes of racing. I think the closest battles probably would be the
Oh,
Firthy Moss.
what happened there? Gunther Road. We just picked the cameras up. With Gunther Road, it's the final chicane there. He's just running up the hill. It looks like he might just run a bit deep here. Yes, he has.
Who's that?
Little
Gunther?
off. Yeah, just a little. It's very slow, measured off track excursion there. Kept that thing away from the tyres and the walls, and just regains. Look, he's under no pressure. Collins well back from him, and look, he's just got to keep plugging away at it. Stay focused. Keep the eyes and the car pointing forward.
Hey, big shout out to Davo, to Danny Kim here tonight too. He's currently running P7s. One of the other drivers that's out there on a wet tyre has made 11 positions throughout this race. Probably made more than that, but he's up 11 positions on his starting position right now to be P7 and coming on strong behind Will Dixon. Give you a comparison on previous lap times for those two drivers, and can tell you that last lap round for Danny Kim was a 32, plays Will Dixon's 37. You don't need the Delta to tell you, the graphics all about it. He's all over him. And yeah, Dixon in the crosshairs for Danny Kim, and not that far up the road is Brandon Webley with that bonnet up. Actually, no, he's a fair way up. He's another 10 seconds, so.
Yeah, well, that won't take long to wrap up there, J-Man.
No.
As we see, who was that around in the background? That wasn't Crossland, was it?
Oh,
it was.
Yes,
too.
Yeah. Crossy's had another moment. So Crossy and the Honda doing Honda things. He's going to root a moment.
Oh, that Honda trying to kill Crossy again tonight, J-Man. So unfortunate for Steve Crossland in the 43 Simblax Honda. Drying conditions here.
Approaching a minute 27 ahead is Hendo, so he's still pressing on. 29.8 plays a 36.2, so still to the tune of 7 odd seconds better off that round.
See Kim past Dixon.
So he's rounded him up. Okay,
he has
10.7 seconds the margin to get to P5. What a great drive from Danny Kim.
So nice work. Look, let's thank everybody again for persisting through the technical
optimal
crap we've had tonight here. Look, and just hanging in with us. Hit the like and subscribe if you think we're worthy of it. But we must thank Rainlight Racing, obviously, for bringing their 2024 GT3 Series 6 to us. It's obviously brought to you by Simblax. Also, CrossCut, WOODWORKS, True to Life Racing, Designs, Crossy 43, Hendo, and broadcast to you. Or Matchfit Entertainment is trying to broadcast it to you tonight live with a few little unscheduled intermissions, ladies and gentlemen. But we have about 15 minutes to go in this race. It's been a cracking race. Weather has been questionable. The sun is starting to fall now, so it is getting dark. What time is it? It's 20 past 9 on the clock. There's still plenty of racing to go in the next 15 minutes with Hendo out in front. Who's he just wrapping up there? That is Webley's car that he is lapping, J-Man.
It is, and Jordan Moss approaching the back of George Goddard as well at the moment, so it's probably the closest battle out on track. Yes. Hendo's gone outside of that minute 30 mark now with Maverick.
And Firthy snuck past Mossy the lap before as well.
He did, yeah. Danny Kim, that was a 10.7 margin, 10.7 second margin a lap and a half ago to Webley. It's now 5.2. So to answer that question, yeah, Davo, you are right. He is definitely got enough time with the lap speed difference. So we saw Danny Kim on a 33.8 versus Webley's 39.1. So 13 minutes, and yeah, 13 and a quarter minutes left to go. He's certainly got enough time in there. We're about to get a read on Webley's latest lap time.
It's definitely putting him in good stead for a 5th position here, J-Man. So nice work for Danny Kim in the number 11 Ferrari there.
Yeah, another 8 seconds quicker that lap there. So he's going to wind that in really, really quickly. He's got that down to 3.4 now. So Danny Kim on the march, heading for a top 5 here. This is big, given that the points difference. Maverick currently sitting P2. Webley, the current series leader, P5. This was the mix-up that probably Maverick coming back from a sabbatical needed to try and close this championship up about. But to be honest, tonight's probably all been about the later phase of it. It's been about Hendo 31. And also a great drive from the 585 car of Shane Fodero, because started out of what I believe was P6.
P6, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, currently running 3rd and a solid 3rd as well. It's got a good margin, good 14 seconds back to Pete Dawson. Webley will be the next one in the firing line of Danny Kim's. Got the lights ablaze, got the spotties on.
Yeah, so Dawson drifting it down through the left hand of their tail, which is a bloody big tail too, mind you, on a Bentley, well out and sideways. And so clearly still pushing the limits of that car in these trying conditions as we start to wind down towards the end of this race, J-Man.
Hughesy also on a wet tyre as well, and he's closing down on Mitchy Haas late in the race as well. So that would be for P12 and 13, and comfortably, honestly, 38.5 plays a 29.6. He's lapping in a similar bracket as Hendo. So all the cars on the wet tyres are in that sweet spot with the times.
Yep. Kim now right on the tail of Webley, J-Man. There is no gap. It is right here, right now. Look, Webley really hasn't fought any of these overtakes. He has a well-damaged Mustang. As the
sweeps around the outside of Blanchimont.
As the light fades, oh, look, the Ferrari just backs it in there beautifully.
Yeah, it was a tidy bit of driving.
The light fades, starting to fade very quickly now with overcast conditions and, well late at night now, about 9:45 p.m. here at Spa.
Okay, so what's the margin? 26 seconds up the road to Pete Dawson from the start of this race. So he is the biggest mover and shaker of this race. So very, very well constructed race there from Danny Kim. So hopefully if someone's listening, shout out to Danny Kim, tell him to maybe hang around at the end of this broadcast, because I would like to give him a quick congratulations after the podium.
Yeah, he would be it would be a great contender for a 4th interview, J-Man. Definitely
100%.
A mover and shaker tonight. So look, the light fading super quickly here at Spa, lights ablaze, still some spray coming off these cars, so we're showing a damp track.
Hendo's still out there. His lap times are improving. He just ran a 2:28, 2:28.2. He'd been currently running sort of 29s. He's dropped into the low 28s. He's at minute 40 something ahead of Maverick. So if he was to decide to just fire in now and go and jam a slick on, he'd be sweet, but I see absolutely no point to do it. You might as well just go out there and just wear the grooves off these tyres and just come across the finish line and say, no, look, they are a slick. There's no groove on them. So,
but like you said, it's not like he's got to keep them for another session, mate. Just rub them till they're raw, mate, and that is exactly what he's doing. A little under 8 minutes to go here.
Oh, Danny Kim has lost that position back to Webley.
Oh, there you go.
And that is under threat from Will Dixon. So not sure what we missed there, but something went away for Danny Kim there. However, still a super, super great drive. Look at the car. Car looks
there we go.
clean.
We just picked it up on the replay there, J-Man, right at the bottom of the hill. Before they
Did he keep it off the wall?
Yeah, no.
Oh, just tagged it.
Just tagged it there. And the boys run past. We've seen Crossland in the wall there as well. We've seen a couple of guys in the wall there. And Kim now adding to that list of drivers.
Hey, look, there's a couple of team cars out on track. Maybe a bit of a photo moment there, Davo, for you if you want to grab the cameras and quickly flick it onto Turbot and Mark Hughes. And Ashton Hughes, sorry, side by side down to the chicane. So that's a legit move there, Ashton Hughes on Mark Turbot. May have just cost him his interview spot. Hey, look, I'd still talk to him because that's a stunning drive. By my calculation, that still sees Danny Kim up 12 spots. So well worthy of a chat. But yeah, I might have cursed him there, Elvis. It's happened before. Okay, so have a look. Danny Kim, though, look, very, very quickly, look at the pace that he's ranged back up to Webley. Now, Webley going around the outside of Worcester is going to create an opportunity here.
Oh, that's looking awkward.
For Danny Kim, he gets tucked in behind Webley. Webley's tucked in behind Worcester, struggling to find a spot there, and I think the grip threshold will still go in the favour here of Danny Kim. Where does he do it? Still 6 minutes to run in this race. Super tight.
Yeah, look, and look at Webley. Sideways this way, sideways that way. Oh, and Kim up on the curb. Now, Kim just came off in the last lap on that corner. These guys are nuts, J-Man.
Yeah, he wants that interview, mate. That's what it is.
You got to whisper through the comms there. The boys need to talk to you. But look, you can see the glowing side pipes on that Mustang. A well-wounded Mustang. He's going to love to see the arse end of this race. I tell you, tough night for Brandon Webley. Languishing back in the 6th position at the moment. But the man of the moment, as we're 5 minutes to go, Jamin, it's definitely Nathan Henderson. Mav still tucked in. Is he tucked in? He's over a minute and a half behind him pretty well.
He's approaching 2 minutes, mate.
Yeah,
so no stress for Hendo right now.
Nah, definitely not. Fodado holding it down 3rd in the OES. McLaren, Dawson in 4th in the lead. But Kim, man of the moment, right now, bringing that thing home for a good solid 5th position. Keeping his nose clean all race, apart from the lap or so ago. And, really making a good showing here tonight. In trying conditions, mind you.
I see that. Rain about to fall again. We'll see a few drops of rain before the end of this race, I would think, by the look of what I'm seeing on there. Potentially.
Well, mate, with 4 laps to go, they've got about a lap and a half to go. Where is Henry, actually? Let's try and work out how many more laps we're going to get in. We're going to get 2 more laps in here.
Yeah, so he's coming down.
4 minutes to go. So
back into the circuit. So he's about
going to get
come
2
out
laps. Yep.
And head out of there down towards Blanchimont.
So he'll easily get this one done and probably another. So.
And he won't mind seeing the rain. And I'll tell you who else won't mind seeing the rain will be Danny Kim on his wet tyre.
Well, that's right.
How far up the road is Dawson?
So you check on that. Let's just get back on Kim's car.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Or 29 seconds up the road. 28. So
Kim struggling there. I think he's really pushing that car, J-Man, more than having... Oh, and he nearly... flicks it at that wall again.
Yeah, it was super close. He just needs to just settle it down. I think 5th is probably
a very
naval position. Yeah, back it down, mate. Back it down. You've got 4 seconds on Webley. Just 3 more minutes, mate. Hang in there. Top 5. I tell you what, won't be anything to snigger at.
No, definitely not. A couple of other good mentions. Collins, first race out for him.
Yeah, top 10.
Top 10. Gunther Rowe in the top 10. Matthew Clark, first race out here.
8.
Top 10. Nice work. Dixon in the CrossCut WOODWORKS. Aston Martin in 7th. And like we keep mentioning, Danny Kim holding down 5th position.
Yeah, 13 spots is a great.
Yeah, that's a big move from the start of the race, J-Man. Husey and Turbot running tandem at the moment in 11th and 12th respectively. I think Husey just got Collins actually. Yes, he did. Yeah, just rounded up Collins on the way up the hill.
Yep. So Husey on a mission at the end. So he's the other guy that was on the wet tyre. So we saw him blow past Mark Turbot, the team car, and then so he's gone top 10. Dixon only 2.9 seconds behind Webley. It was only a second in the difference in the lap time, so still not done. Webley only has to have a few of those side moments that he's been having, and and Dixon will be right there. But who else? Goddard, Moss, that battle. Okay, it's been separated by between sort of 3 to 4.5 seconds for the better part of the last half an hour.
Yeah,
but it's still been going on. So good job from George Goddard to be keeping somebody like Jordan Moss honest. Who,
totally.
To be honest, his strategy and his pit lane experiences tonight had probably seen him well down the order to where he should have been.
Oh, for sure, J-Man. Yeah, with an unscheduled stop there. Look, as I suspected, Hendo just coming around the final chicane now, so there will be another lap here.
Yep. And who's that he's rounding up?
Who is that in one of the McLarens there?
It'll be Mr. Goebel. It'll be Ben Goebel.
It is Goebel, yes.
Yeah.
So Goebel keeping his nose clean. We haven't actually seen, he hasn't popped up on our deltas and our radars too much tonight.
4.5 seconds there, Mr. McConnell. So 31 plays a 35. So 31.4 plays a 35.015. So that's a difference between the leaders. So right to the very end, that tyre strategy for, for Hendo has been definitely the call. And I think you'll find that the likes of Mav and certainly Webley and co probably thought that was the master stroke to stay on the slick tyre during that first rain. Obviously, Hendo did, but that second one, which I really did question when he went on that wet tyre, that I didn't think that was the right call, but he proved us wrong up here in the box for sure.
And yes, as he is now going around for his final lap, as we got cameras on Fondo very sideways there, Jay. But we will get cameras back on Hendo's car.
Yep.
Stellar job from Hendo in the meatballs. Aston Martin here tonight. Looks spectacular at night here. Flames belting from the side of the Aston. Wet conditions, shiny wet track, so plenty of reflection here. Stunning.
Dixon 1.1 seconds behind Webley. 0.7. There's a sting in the tail. Does Webley go back one more position before the end of this race, Dave-O?
Well, time will tell.
Where are they? Where are they on track?
Hendo on his way up the hill for the final time here. 2 hours of epicness here at Spa for a Rainlight Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6 Round 8. 2 more rounds to go, ladies and gentlemen. Bathurst and Imola. But here, Nathan Henderson, the master class that is Henderson tonight. J-Man across the line. Round of applause for Nathan Henderson. Stunning drive. Right tyre at the right time. Golf claps all round for Hendo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Flick spins the car in celebration.
So I'm still watching. Obviously, we've got Maverick coming. He's still coming, but I'm still watching Dixon and Webley going at it, coming down the hill, coming down towards Blanchimont. Webley's just got to hang in there for this series of super quick left-handers and try and hold off the fight to the final chicane as we see Maverick come through.
Webley. Every time I look at that car, it is sideways, and it is sideways even when it's going in a straight line.
Oh. It is super tight, but they bring it home. So that will see the classifications, because they are effectively, well, they are lapped down because they've already got checkers.
They have got checkers.
They got the checkers. Maverick will come home in second over Shane Fodderdo.
Yeah,
And third.
So Mav actually just letting a wet, tired, shod car of Firth, fly past him there. So, no, we didn't forget to call second and third position, ladies and gentlemen.
No, they're the only ones out there on this.
They're actually on the lead lap still.
On the lead lap.
Yeah, so Mav.
So is that what you're telling me? We only had 3 cars on the lead lap?
Yeah, pretty well.
My graphics telling me.
Pretty much, J-Man. Yeah. So, Mav in the number 3, Red Bull Honda. Stunning job. Really did keep his nose clean. We see him have a little bit of a slip up there about mid-race. But, really didn't really have anything for Webley, and Webley making the mistakes all by himself. A J-Man here tonight at Spa for round 8. Mav, final chicane. J-Man stunning under lights here at Spa in the rain as these cars run across the line. Beautiful.
Maverick sideways across the line.
See that? And here comes Shane Fodderdo. Flames are belching from the back of the OES McLaren and across the line for third position. Nice work for Shane Fodderdo too, J-Man. A bit of a standout, starting the race in 6th position. So Pete Dawson in 5th. Danny Kim, like we mentioned multiple times, up into 5th tonight. Brandon Webley with a really tough night, back into 7th. Look, 6th, should I say, and did well to keep that car in 6th, to be honest, because
100%.
Dixon was right behind him, J-Man. So.
Yeah, and then obviously, Clark, Hughes, Rowe, and Collins to round out the 10. A good recovery from Nick Firth, who I saw pretty much at the back of the pack after what was a very weird pit transit. So that was interesting, but certainly great drives from everybody out there in those trying conditions. But Turbot as well, P12 outright. Sees the first AM car home, but the Danny Kim drive from the Pro-Am category to bring that car home in P5 is outstanding, and hopefully we'll get to have a chat with him very shortly. However, we will kick off the Hotbox podium interviews, and first cab off the rank will be OES's very own Shane Fodderdo with what was a trying but very outstanding drive. Shane, you got us on comms?
Hey guys.
Mate, the weather gods threw everything at you, that one, mate. And look, that was a very, very solid third position. Possibly a little bit lonely for you there at the latter stage of it, but that race really came to you, mate.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that happened, because I was running on slicks, but I just seemed to be quicker than Dawson and Webley. And yeah, I think I just upped the pressure quite a bit on slicks and took the gamble, but obviously Hendo got the right strategy.
So qualified P6, I believe, Shano, and then drove the car to P3. You got to be happy with that result. And then given that, how much thinking you would have had to have done on the fly, or did you not cast too much thought about the tyre stuff with the weather? Did you think that the weather was going to be short-lived?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do because I didn't really practice for this round. So I was on my adjusting pit strategies every other lap, and then in my in lap, I saw that the weather had just changed to 5 minutes. It was going to be dry again, so I made the last minute change again to put slicks back on. Probably should have run with the wets, but never mind.
Yep.
Hey, well, look, all in all, P3, you do anything to get on the podium here at Rainlight Racing, and it's a great night, especially in those conditions. But on the bigger picture, a couple of rounds to go, Shano came into this round 220 points, 8 points shy of Nick Firth, currently holding down fourth in the championship. Obviously, certainly went well better than Firthy tonight and Costas Makrolos. So obviously 2 rounds to go. Racing out of fifth in the championship says you're certainly going to climb the ladder a little bit here tonight, obviously with those point margins being relatively close, mate. So potentially heading towards a podium. Do you start thinking podium contention overall for the series, mate? I think you'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that'd be a surprising good result. I'd be happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, look, it's been an awesome series so far, mate, and like, mate, despite our internet issues here tonight with YouTube doing YouTubey things, you guys put on a hell of a show, mate, and yeah, congratulations on what was a very, very well earned P3, Shano.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, cheers.
Awesome, mate. So that is Shano from P3 racing out of OES stable there. What a great result.
Oh, definitely.
Now we'll grab down another guy who we used to talking to at the end of the night, but he just decided to do something a little different tonight and just go out there and smash a slip tyre in the wet all night. Maverick, you got us on comms?
Hey guys.
Mate, I could have argued for all money you were on the correct strategy there tonight, but Hendo had different ideas. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, look, I think nobody really knew that the weather was going to change so much so quickly, and so you saw the sun coming out, and then I think everyone just thought, other than Hendo, to stay on some dries. And then once you make your pit, it's, I don't know, it's not kind of really worth pitting again, because then you see the weather forecast and it says rain, but then sun, and then as soon as it gets dry, the rain came again. So it was just too quick, and then before you knew it, the clock was running down, and yeah, I think just sucked it up and finished the race on dries. I could see no one was really coming through on wets, so I didn't see the point of making a pit.
It was either staying on one or the other, wasn't it? It wasn't worth chopping around and changing rubber, was it?
I mean, it's such a long pit lane. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's about a minute. It's about a minute 40 worth of anything to do anything with success, and you know, it's such a long pit lane. You know, when you talk about a minute 10 or a minute 11 just to transit the lane, it just really takes that out of the equation. However, I thought the battle at the opening phase, you called it. You said the Mustang would get past. Hendo managed to fire himself in there as well, mate, which would have been a bit of a surprise. However, little by little, we saw you peak that gap back and right up to that first rainfall, and I was really quite surprised at the performance of the Mustang of Webley's in those trying conditions, because I actually thought it would have favoured the Honda. However, it went from sort of, I think, 1.8 seconds before it rained to 5, and then when it cleared up, you pulled it back. Obviously, Webley made his mistake, and yeah, look, I think consistent all night. I think I only saw you make one mistake down at one of the chicanes there, mate, after the Kimmel Straight, and look, you rescued the car in P2 on a night where Webley didn't have the best nights. We're going to see this championship close back up again, Mav.
Yeah, look, the opening phase of the race, I was really enjoying it. Hendo, yeah, you're right. He got in front. I think he let me by though, which was nice of him, and Karma carved the ceremony well.
Yeah.
And then Webley, I think he was quicker in the wets, other than the mistakes. The Honda was pretty bad in the wet. It's hard at the best of times.
Yeah. I reckon Steve Dawson would agree with you, mate.
Yeah. I think I lapped him. I was like, oh, he must have gone off. There was a bit of aquaplaning just after Radion, and
we could see it.
Yeah, I think most people were suffering from that.
Yeah,
Webley especially.
Webley.
Yeah. I could see him every time.
Twice.
Kind of taking it wide, but no matter where you take that corner, you're gonna get it.
Is there a good puddle that sits in there somewhere, Mav? Is there?
Yeah, just when you come out of pit, where the white line ends.
Yep.
There's like a puddle there. You can't avoid it. You can't take it wide.
Yeah.
In fact, it's worse if you take it wide, because then you got more.
Because you get more load on.
Yeah, you got more steering load on it.
Yeah.
You're better off just hitting it straight as you can.
And dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nice.
So it was good fun. Good fun race.
Yeah, no, look, it was entertaining. I was watching the little arm wrestle at the start between yourself and Webley once you did clear Hendo, and that was shaking up. Had those conditions stayed the same, to be an absolute doozy, because you were just little by little pulling it back and taking the advantages that you had. Obviously, the Mustang got so much straight line speed, but you were making a great lap time. And then, funnily enough, I'm looking at the little things in the battle tonight, even between yourself and the unknown for us, was watching Hendo running 228s, 229s, and at that time you were running 38s, 39s, and then I knew it would come back to the favour. And then I think it crushed down as low as sort of 4.5 seconds, still to the favour of Hendo on that tyre. So it was just interesting that even in the drying conditions, he managed to make that tyre live. And I think there was that turning point where he was probably never going to have to stop. Nonetheless, super, super cool battle.
Nice work.
Mav, for you to bring that home P2 on a night when, you capitalised on the conditions, and then like I said, exciting part for us up here in the comms box, mate, is this championship's going to go right down to the wire. So pretty excited for the next 2 rounds, buddy.
Yeah, it was a good day for points. Probably brings it a bit closer. I'm not sure where Webley finished up, but yeah, the last 2 races are going to be fun.
Definitely.
Yeah, nice work.
Nice work, Mav.
It's bloody great to have you back, Mav. We missed you while you were away, mate. And looking forward to later in the week, and then looking forward to next week also, mate. So good
Cheers,
stuff.
Guys.
Cheers, matey.
Thanks for that.
Cheers, Mav.
Awesome.
All right. And then cometh the man, cometh the... Yeah, this is his hour. This is his time to shine. Hendo, you got us on comms.
Yeah, I got you, mate.
Mate, 3 times in one night. You've got to be doing something bloody well to be talking to us 3 times in one night. But more importantly, you are the last... Well, we are going to do another quick little interview after you. However, you did gain the top spot. Took all the risk. Got all the rewards, mate. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, mate. That's bit of a relief to the system to finally get a win.
Get a win under your belt, mate. Nice work, mate.
I'm glad it was Spa too.
Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it? So
Yeah,
it's a big win, when you get Spa. So
definitely.
You look confident right from the get-go, mate. I saw you punching some numbers in official pracky tonight, and I think maybe was there an unofficial server that you guys had a little bit of a race in as well prior to the lead-up, and I saw some pretty big numbers, Hendo, so you must have had the car and yourself in a sweet spot prior to this one going green tonight, and then obviously took all the risk in the race. That second stop where you put on the when you put on the wet tyre, I questioned your choice there, mate, and it was an absolute masterclass because we had chatted to you, and I think you were pretty happy to run long. Probably didn't give too much away, but was it a late decision to do that?
Yeah, it was. So as soon as I come into the pits was when it started raining. So I just went with, mate, I'll just throw the wets on and see what happens.
Perfect.
And when I come out, the little widget was all clear for the first couple of laps, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to pit again if I can put slicks on.
Yeah.
As soon as it went to the one with rain, I was like, that's sweet, mate. That's in the bag.
Yeah. Eyes forward, mate. No, it's good. It was good. The car looked super solid in the road, obviously, on the wets. Yeah.
The car was good. That was the first time I drove it in the wet too. But I remember when it started raining because I used to drive the Bentley, so I was like, oh, Pete's gonna struggle with the traction control in the Bentley to keep up. I'll just throw TC2 on 8 and send it, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I obviously just previously had in the box, obviously Mav and then Shano. Now the interesting one is obviously it is going to crush at the top between Mav and Brandon, but the more interesting one now that we've got you here, Hendo, is that I was congratulating on Shane on a great third position and outdoing Firthy in fourth and Costas Makrolos in third, but also to factor in, given that you were only 2 points shy of Shane Fodordo for the top 5 in this championship going into this, and then you betted him by a couple of positions tonight and being the top step, bigger point swing there. That really plays a factor in. Realistically, I believe, Costas, Firthy, Fodordo, Henderson, to see who makes up this podium for the end of the season. So 2 rounds to go, mate. As I said to Shane, you got to start believing that a podium position is well on the cards for the overall in the series, Hendo.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'm not sure how many points there are. think I'll be in 4th now. I'm not sure how many points third's on, but I'll definitely be going for a podium in the championship.
Yeah,
Um,
love it. Love the confidence, mate, and you should do too after a drive like that too, because you look the goods all night. I thought right from the attitude from the start, Hendo, when you passed Mav straight up and tried to go with Webley, and we saw you put some pressure on Webley at the start. I think that's the attitude, mate, and you got plenty of support on the comms chat too. So plenty of fans out there for the Hendo 31 car, mate.
Plenty of fans in the chat box, mate. So
that's good. Hopefully, I can give him another win next week.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bathurst next week, mate. So step it up.
Breakout
I'll try.
drive. Yeah, breakout drive, Nathan Henderson, mate. Take a bow. That was
Congrats.
an absolute masterclass. So you got to enjoy this one, mate. This one's yours to enjoy. And like you said, Spa, it's a big one, mate.
You'll remember it. You'll remember that race.
You'll never
Definitely.
forget this one.
Yeah.
Neither will we. We had our challenges tonight with the stream. However, it had to keep coming back because every part of it was entertaining for the comms crew, mate. So congratulations once again, Hendo, mate. Really, really stoked for you, pal.
Thanks, guys, and cheers.
Too easy.
So have a bit of a read and watch the race now, I suppose.
Yep.
Awesome.
Awesome stuff, mate.
Awesome.
Hendo, well done. We'll leave you to it.
Nathan
Cheers,
Henderson, everyone.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll have a short and sweet.
Okay, so have we got Danny Kim? We have. I'm just going to grab Danny Kim.
We got other
quick chat.
commitments, J-Man, but let's get this man down here.
Oh,
Have a quick chat.
just quickly, Danny Kim, you got us on comms, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Hey, look, just wanted to congratulate you on your drive and backing yourself on the wet tyre tonight here, mate, and making 13 positions outright in the race is an absolute stellar event. You didn't go unnoticed, mate. We saw the drive and just wanted to give you a bit of a shout out there, Danny.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it showed, mate. You had a few scary moments in there too, Dan. You got Webley and went back and then got him again. So, hey, look, we are pressed for time, but I did want to give you a shout out, mate, because that was an outstanding drive, mate. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers, Dan. So that's Danny Kim, raced all the way up 13 positions to end up what was somewhere around the top 6, was it, Dave?
Yes.
And anyway,
fifth position.
Fifth position.
position.
So, sorry, mate. Sorry to hold the sharp too long. I guess we've got a wheel to spin.
We do have a wheel to spin.
Sorry,
Jay, man. That's okay. And look, obviously, thanks for joining us again here tonight for Late Night Racing's 2024 GT3 Series 6. It was again brought to you by Simblacks. And CrossCut Woodworks and True to Life Racing Designs and Crossy 43 and Hendo, but Sim Blacks once again, as always, each week giving away $50 Prezi cards, J-Man. So we will spin the wheel any moment now, but at the end of the series as well, Simblacks giving away a Sim Magic GT Neo wheel via Spin the Wheel. So you don't have to be the fastest guy on the track here to win these prizes. You've just got to be here. And at this time, after every race, we come to the moment. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The wheel, and we are ready to spin. It's been a long night. I'm surprised.
Can I spin it?
You spin it this time, J-Man.
All right, here you go. Here you go. Always wanted to do that.
That internet connection had to come over from New Zealand. There we go, and we have got Damien Jones. Not sure the protocol there. I think we might have to spin that again. Damien not on track tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll spin this one, see if we can get someone that's here. There we go again.
That was a good spin, Davo.
Ah! Well, I'll be Phil Antoon, aka Mav.
Well done. Gets a bonus.
gets a podium with a bonus $50 gift card. Thanks to the good people at Sim Blacks, ladies and gentlemen. There is plenty more racing to come with 2 more rounds. Mount Panorama, Bathurst, the famous Bathurst, next week. J-Man, 60-minute race, so one of the shorties, so that will be a cracking race to watch. And then obviously series rounding out at Imola. We must thank all our sponsors again, obviously Sim Blacks, the kind people at Sim Blacks, CrossCut Woodworks, Carpentary and Joinery, True to Life Racing Designs, Crossy 43 and Hendo. Thanks for bearing with us tonight, ladies and gentlemen, through all sorts of technical dramas. Like J-Man said, we couldn't not come back because the race that was going on in front of us
It's amazing.
was amazing. So, yeah, we just had to hang in there and just keep beating the box until it came back on, and so we could deliver to you guys what was going on out on track in some trying conditions here for round 8 at Spa. Thank you, J-Man.
Thank you too, Dave, mate. Appreciate all your efforts tonight, and it takes a lot of patience and takes a lot of work to sometimes get these things. And I think that was either 3 or 4 takes at that, but well worth it. And do really appreciate all the support from the viewers that keep tuning back in, because I could imagine from your end, viewers, that it could be frustrating and just want to just hit the switch and just go to bed or call it. But hey, such was the racing and the effort from Davo yourself to try and bring us back.
Very busy on the treadmill tonight, trying to keep the power up to this thing.
We'll change the dynamo out for next week.
But look, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for tonight. We will see you hopefully again next week, Monday night at Bathurst. Bye for now.
See ya.